days, dude. Now it's just Nick and the boy.
True.
Pat
Nick
moved
and the
out.
boy.
It's just Nick. No, it's Christian and the boy.
Christian and the boy.
It's just one boy.
Yeah, dude.
Hot cast.
How was 4th of July?
4th of July was sick.
How was the weekend leading up to that? Because that's when you were gone, right?
What, when I was at Magoob's?
Yeah.
I was at Magooby's Joke House in Timonium, Maryland.
Nice.
It was good. It was fun. It was a good crowd. I was with a guy named Mickey Cucciella.
How's that boy?
He's a good boy, dude.
There you go.
He's just a white trash mutt, dude.
That is a mutt, dude.
He's a
Cucciella.
He's a Baltimore white trash mutt.
Oh, I think I met this guy, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Guy's the fan.
He is the man.
He's the fan. He looks
But
like
he is wild. Like,
he's a big dude.
for like an alt right, he is kind of like not alt right, but he's conservative. He's openly conservative. But he also, it's very funny to me when people that are that conservative have these ideas that clearly counteract. Like they let their racism get in the way of politics.
Really?
Not necessarily Mickey, but
yeah,
I'm not calling Mickey a racist.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's funny, like, so he was arguing, he was like, if a girl is 16 years old and is poor and has a kid, the government should be able to take that kid. And I was like,
that's true.
I'm like, dude, for a right winger,
yeah,
you're giving the government an awful lot of power to just be like, give us your kid. You're
That's
poor.
true.
Like, anyway.
Yeah, that's weird. That's like they almost put themselves in that where they're like, I should be able to take their kid, and it's just like, all right, dude.
It's like, no, that's not Republican.
I know.
You don't want, or whatever. You don't want to be like, yeah, the government should be able to take poor people's kids because they can't take care of them. It's like, well, first off, you don't know if they can take care of them.
Well, they can't.
Maybe they can't, but either way, you don't want to have a law written down that's like, if you're under 16 years old and you have a kid and you don't make $20,000, we get to take your kid.
That was his rule.
Yeah, I think he got a little excited and was defending himself.
People do that all the time.
People like, when you know how,
it's one thing to do it and be like, F, yeah, I'm wrong. But some people are like,
yeah, some people double down.
Yeah, man, if you work at Burger King and have a kid, I'm taking it. What would they do with all the Burger King kids, dude?
All the BK kids?
Yeah.
All the fucking...
all the little Whoppers, dude.
all the junior Whoppers, dude. All the Whopper Junies, they get...
I think they'd make them sit there and make the little kids' toys.
I think they would get launched into a flame-broiled oven.
Oh.
Yo, shout-outs, dude. We got some quick shout-outs.
Oh, yeah, who got? Shout someone out.
Shout-out for Uncle Bob. What up,
Ooh,
boy?
what's up, Uncle Bobby?
Uncle Bobby knows who he is. Yo, shout-out Justin. What up, dog?
What's up, Justine?
Those are my shout-outs. Also,
yeah. Doug Randy.
Yo, shout-out
Pat
Mubarak,
McCusker.
dog.
Who's that?
Mubarak.
Oh, Mubarak, dude.
fuck
Yeah.
we just
Hell
met.
yeah.
He's a good boy.
It's a great boy. It's a good
I told
name.
him I had to forewarn him. I was like, the cast is
The ca-
it borders on Islamophobic.
Well, it's not just for the sake. If it's pushing back on. Really, it's against white pussies.
That's what I tried to
So
explain.
we're basically goalkeeping, just like get out of here, guy. Like don't get that far.
Yeah.
Also, what was his name?
Mubarak.
Mubarak. That's sick. Sounds like a one half of a tag team wrestling thing.
Mubarak.
Like Mubarak and Farouk.
Farouk was one, yeah. Mubarak is like congratulations or happy or something like that in Arabic.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they say for Ramadan. They say Mubarak Ramadan.
Happy Ramadan.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a good name.
It's
Happy.
pretty sick.
It's a cool name.
Yeah,
I know
it's
a guy
like
named
congrats, happy.
Yeah.
Mubarak.
Mubarak.
Mubarak. Hey, what?
It sounds harsh.
Of course.
Anything with a hard K.
What do you think? You're going to have a nice language coming out of the desert, dude?
True.
You're going to have
That's
harsh.
True. A lot of.
Yeah, no matter what you say, dude.
You're just always thirsty. It's like.
Just hopped off a camel. You traveled for 48 miles in the desert. Of course, your language is going to be like.
Just dust in your mouth.
Yeah, dude. Even if you're saying something nice, it's going to come off as like.
True.
So, yeah, shout out Arabs. What up, boys?
Yeah. Dude, I went to a barbecue in the Northeast on, that must have been Monday, I guess.
You had a barbecue in Northeast Philadelphia?
Yeah, I went to a barbecue.
Nice.
Went to my girlfriend's hairdresser's friend's party. So it was like, everyone there was cool, but it was pretty much, the dynamic was me and a bunch of like relatively hood black people. And we played Taboo, the game, the board game, where you have to guess the word.
Oh,
dude, it was the funniest
hilarious
in the world, dude.
Playing Taboo with black people from the Northeast?
Dude, it was so funny.
Oh,
dude.
my
So
God.
one guy, it would be like, it was actually like the games were super high scoring because it was like, if you have all that slang, there's to give you
Oh,
Taboo,
yeah.
you have
It's
the
all
one
white
word.
words.
It's the one word you have to say, then there's 6 words you can't say.
And they're like, I don't even
And dude,
know
it was just like,
who would say
one
that.
was Snowman. The guy was like, Jeezy the, and everyone's like, Snowman. Dude, it was-
Jeezy.
At one point, this guy, and dude, it was just like, It was clouds of blunt smoke. Everyone's chain smoking blunts. I brought gummies, so everyone's feeding. Everyone ate, like, no one listened to me. I'm like, eat 3. They're like, man, I'm eating 6 of these. I was like, all right, bro. Everyone's fucked up. And then, like, so we were playing, this game's progressing, and, like, the word was press. So there's one dude, Abdul, he's kind of like a nerd. He, like, was up there, and he's like, yeah, like, when, like, someone comes up to you, and they'd, like, yo, man, they'd be up in there, and you'd be like, man, I ain't even on that. And everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
He's like, all right, never mind, forget that. What do you do with a button? And everyone was so confused from his original, like, man, you know, you hop out the whip, you're like, man, they're like, man, I don't even know. It was like, what the fuck, dude? Everyone was so, it was like, damn. That was literally, I sat there for 2 hours. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Fuck, dude, that would be so great.
It was the best.
Watching hood black people play Taboo.
Dude, and
they must be so good.
They were crushing.
The references, they must...
It was insane, dude.
That game is very white privilege. It's designed for white people to have fun.
Yeah, dude.
It's like the word is snowman. You can't say, like, Nat King Cole. It's like, good luck. Yeah. I don't know how you're going to figure this out without saying... Frosty the what?
Dude, it was so funny. They're like, oh, that's Jeezy the snowman.
Oh my god.
Dude, it was so funny.
That's awesome.
It was a blast.
That is a blast.
That was a blast. There was a couple of them. Oh, dude, then there was a lesbian there, and the word was strapless. And she's like, finally she just stopped. She's like, all right, girls beef each other with these. And I was like, she's like, but with what? What do you keep it on? I'm like, strap on? And all these dudes are looking at me. Everyone's pausing hard on me. They're like, what? Yeah, pause, bro. Pause. I'm like, she's like, no strap. And I was like, strapless. Dude, got it. And I was like, sorry, guys, I watch a lot of...
Of course, the white boy be into that freaky shog. Dude, black lesbians are hilarious.
Dude, she was fucking...
Black lesbians, just their culture of that is so funny.
They're tough as fuck.
Black lesbians are able to be like, yeah, like, I just love eating... Like, that's how it is.
Dude, it's so...
Like, and people are like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, you can't argue it.
Yeah.
Plus, they're also... Black lesbians are so manly that you're like...
They are, dude.
Yeah, and it's like... It's almost the point where you're like, yeah, dude, like...
They're all super mask.
They are mask.
Not a femmes.
Nah, man. But, dude,
there are some hot ass femme lesbians.
This goes into my dark sexuality, but, like, a lot of times when they get a hot femme, like a stud, they're called studs. When, like, a black lesbian, you call them a stud.
Really?
Yeah, that's the word on the street for them.
All right.
You hit them with a stud. It's like, she's a stud.
Really? They say stud?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my mom says stud.
But that's what, like, black dudes call, like, mask black lesbians or studs. Like, yeah, she's a stud.
All right. That's funny.
It's hilarious.
Should be butch, but yes.
No, it's a stud.
It was butch.
Yeah, I know. But stud is taking, like, 80s
stud's
surfer
funny.
slang.
Yeah, stud's funny. Wow, man, what a stud, dude.
Yeah. It's like, man, she's a stud. But yeah, when they have like hot femme girlfriends, that's possibly something I haven't explored. I might get into.
What, studs and
admiring? Yeah, like studs with their hot femme girlfriends.
You should, dude.
I'm into it now. I didn't realize how hot I am for that.
No, because I don't want to see the stud. The stud is something I'm totally unattracted.
Yeah, but dude.
A tough black lesbian. I've no
sexual. You gotta get in the whole dynamic of the whole thing.
This is going to lead us back to Trump. I don't want to jerk off to that one.
Fine. I'll delve in. I'll let you know, man. I'll explore the outer stratosphere. I'll give you a report.
Yeah, what did we do this weekend? Magoobs.
Yeah.
Hung out with a dog.
Hung out with the pup.
Nice. Yeah, it was nice.
Ape.
Went to the pool.
You went back to the pool?
I was down.
Have you ever talked about the pool?
No.
Dude, that was the best.
The pool was wild.
The pool was sick.
I was down at the pool. My girlfriend's apartment complex has a nice public pool.
Yeah.
We were down there.
It's members only pool.
Members only, dude.
But it is something inherently, and dude, I'm obviously...
It's like a swingers colony, dude. It's a weird...
Well, it's like a library element to the pool, because you can't have too much fun.
Yeah,
it's funny, because everyone in there thinks, like, I have a pool, but it's like, no, you share a pool.
You share a pool with a bunch of weird people. With a bunch of weird old people. Yeah. Dude, I go down there during the week because I'm like, all right, everyone's at work.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go down. And it's packed.
Yeah.
It's packed.
Every time someone else comes in, everyone in there is kind of like...
Stare at them, just like, God damn it.
Get out, dude. Stop ruining my fantasy of having in a pool, dude.
Weren't we in there, like, making fun of them?
Yeah, I was.
I could have sworn we were in the pool just like...
I was laughing.
This would be nice. You could end up like this.
I know. I was like,
you
dude,
made it.
This guy. It was like some fat dude, like laying like a
orange. He was full tan.
He was laying like a fat Roman lady, just like sideways in like a Chase pool lounge,
and his belly was just oozing. You ever see someone real fat lay on their side and their belly just lays out, dude? I mean, mine does. It's very funny to do that. To lay on your side.
He was laying like seductively.
He looked very seductive.
He was laying like one leg up and he's laying on his side. I'm like, dude, these guys made it. In my head, I'm like, well, I don't even have a pool to share.
That was the first time I got a fat sunburn.
Oh, yeah.
That was my first real fat sunburn.
What was that? You had underneath your was white.
Underneath your is white. The top of your to red. And then just the top middle part of your belly is red. Everything else, like the under your is shaded, and then the rest of your belly is shaded.
So the protruding
gut
and the protruding tit, like nose level sunburn.
The top of your paunch is red.
It gets like nose level sunburn.
Yeah. My top. Well, I mean, I haven't been shirtless in the sun. I'm not a fan.
I got crushed.
I'm still recovering. I got hives from it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I got like sun poisoning on my shoulder. And then at the beach, I got it.
That's weird how your nose gets more sunburnt than the rest of your body.
Why?
It's only an inch sticks out from your face. My nose gets fried.
It's facing upwards.
My nose is...
I mean, at an angle.
You think?
Yeah, for sure. That's why your nose gets crushed.
I think it's closer to the sun.
No, that's what the fuck. No, it's at an angle. It's the same reason the bottom of your feet get murdered.
But your nose is like... Your
nose isn't flat. Your nose is at an angle.
Not mine, dude. I'm not gay.
Your nose is at an angle.
My nose is down.
Guaranteed my nose is way flatter than yours. I have a very flat face. Also, it's top of my forehead.
Now that'll get fucked. Oh, dude, did you ever have a
receding hairline?
Yeah.
I have a receding hairline, and that part's
sun's creeping in there.
Crushed. It hurts, dude.
I know.
That part.
I've gotten that.
Oh. Well, anyway.
I buzzed my head and got cooked.
Is this a hot cast, or are you and me just talking back and forth to each other? They were just catching up.
This is what a podcast is. It's hot. It's 12 minutes. Take a little B. And we're back.
Oh, man, we're back.
Oh, my God.
We were just talking current events.
Yeah, we were. Trying to dig up some...
We're just talking about how North Korea is wilding out.
Yep. Ooh.
What?
Dude, apparently Amelia Earhart may have been captured by the Japanese.
That's pretty sick.
That's a sick theory.
If the Japanese took her head off?
Dude, what the do you think they did with her?
Don't know.
That's a girl coming from the sky.
A very good apart.
She was a stud. Amelia Earhart's a stud, dude.
She was a big time stud. She had that arf.
Yeah, dude.
Just tying people
Looking like the Red Baron Pizza Man.
Yep,
Dude.
she's eating people's pussies, dude. She was a 5-point.
Fresh out Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So wait, what are they saying about Japan? What is that?
I don't know. They said a new photo may prove that Japan captured Amelia Earhart.
What year was Amelia Earhart? Was that like the 20s?
1937.
Oh, 37?
Yeah.
Oh, so she was almost World War II, dude.
Yeah, she was probably the first.
Yeah, the Japs were
they
probably
thought Amelia was a bomb.
All
the raining women, I don't know.
Oh, very pretty white lady.
10,000 other citizens.
Dude, we gave the Japanese what for in World War II,
did.
dude. We gave them a hard what for.
Dude, that's what they got.
They got fucking
that flag,
dude.
That flag will pump you up, though.
The Japanese flag?
That, like, setting sun looking flag with the rays out. I'd be pumped up for that.
Yeah, that's a sick
Plus, they were like...
Empire of the
They
Sun,
fell
dude.
hard. Yeah, exactly. They were riding around in, like, BattleBots armor on horses and with swords.
Yeah.
Then they were like, we came over, they're like, no, you guys are nerds. Take off the samurai shit.
Stop dressing up cool. All you need is a rifle and a bunch of peasants standing in a line.
You guys don't have to dress up like Transformers anymore. You guys can take off your clothes.
And Gatling guns. Yeah, you can stop dressing like a mean sculpture. I better give the sword. We have swords. No, dude.
Who invented, the Chinese invented all like the ammunition and fireworks
Gunpowder.
and shit. Yeah.
Gunpowder, yes.
And they were just lighting fireworks. And
But you know what? I got in a heated argument with a history teacher of mine in Westchester, my professor.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, he tried to say some white guilt bullshit where he was like, well, the Chinese had gunpowder for centuries before the Europeans got it and weaponized it. And I was like, dude, are you trying to tell me that the Chinese didn't weaponize gunpowder off a moral issue?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, these are the people fighting the Mongolians.
Yeah.
That are, if you lose, they beat everyone and make a mountain out of it.
Yeah.
And he was like, they had the moral compass to not turn gunpowder into a weapon.
Here, dude.
Seriously, he hit me with that.
I believe he hit you with that.
And at the time, I didn't realize how insane that was that he hit. I mean, it was enough that I argued with him in class. in a class, I was like, "That's
what's he
not
basing
true."
that off of? Mulan, the Disney movie?
Yeah, he saw Mulan. It was like they also had talking dragons that told him like, "Don't do it." Eddie Murphy was like, "Yo, no faggots." Eddie Murphy was like, "Yo, the Mongolians are faggots and they can't look at my ass."
Oh my god!
Wasn't Eddie Murphy that? No, that's the donkey. Who played the dragon?
Wait, the dragon was Eddie Murphy as well.
It was Eddie Murphy as well.
Dude, Eddie Murphy is a dragon.
Sick characters.
Yeah, man.
Donkey and dragon.
That's what happens in Hollywood, dude. You get caught with trannies, you get to play all the cool cartoon characters.
Yeah, you get to play the wacky character.
We're gonna hide you. It's like the Catholic Church. Like, we're gonna hide you out for a while.
Yeah, we're gonna move you around.
You'll be the donkey in Shrek.
No one's gonna see your face. You're gonna be giving confession as a dragon.
Yeah, dude, we fucked Japan up.
Yeah, Japan got butt fucked. You know what also is annoying to me?
What?
You hear a lot of people with history that are like, the U.S. was like super hard on, like we shouldn't have dropped the nuke.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, yeah, they've had that one coming.
The nuke?
The Japanese
I don't know anything about it.
They deserved to get nuked twice.
What were they doing?
The Japanese in World War II?
I know they're being bad.
They were bad boys.
So they got the
elbow. They got the stinky leg drop, dude. They got the hardest top rope from frog splash, dude, twice.
That's definitely like a group of 14-year-old kids talking. Someone's like, "You won't do it." And one dude just throws a punch, and everyone's
Haymaker.
like, "Yo."
Well, no, I mean, obviously Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
They threw the first sucker punch.
That could have been a false flag operation.
There was a lot of gay rumors about false flag, but whatever. Yeah, we were like, all right, please hit us. That was the U.S. being like, go ahead, dude.
Yeah.
Do something.
I wonder, too, if people wanted to use one of those things, and they were like, all right.
That's
Chop it on them.
That's another thing is the first one,
yeah,
I believe Hiroshima was, because Nagasaki as well. We dropped two.
Yeah.
And the first one was for Japan, and the second one was for Russia.
But
the second one was like, we looked at Russia while we dropped it, and we were like, dude, this could be you if you don't chill out. Yeah, dude. You know in John Wick when he shoots that guy in the head while he's looking at it? Never mind. You won't get that reference.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Somebody will get it. You know when he's in the party? When he attacks the guy's son, and his son is getting out of the hot tub? That was Russia. And we were holding Japan down. We looked Russia in the eyes and executed them. But it also, the only thing that was impressive about it was that it was one bomb. Because we inflicted that much damage and much more casualties in places like Dresden and Tokyo.
Okay.
Before that.
True. So what were they doing so bad, just for people who don't know?
What Japan was doing in World War II? Well,
just for people
pre-World War II, so around when that stud Earhart went down.
Yeah.
They raped Nanking.
Who's Nanking?
It was China. They flew into China.
And his butt fam?
It was such a catastrophe that it's actually historically known as the of Nanking.
Holy
documented as the of.
So they went through. So they got decked out in raiding gear and went into everyone.
Dude, it was all Japanese men too. Just all their pussies were blurred out. They're fucked up.
Their tentacles are coming out.
Yeah, dude. They did what? They did the Bataan Death March. Dude, they did crazy beyond crazy.
Jesus Christ!
So they believed their emperor was a god.
Yeah, I know that about Japan.
And they were willing to fight to the death. Like, so when the U.S. after the atomic bombs, after the emperor got on the radio and was like, "We surrender," a lot of the people would refuse to believe it.
The voice of God, basically.
Yeah, and they killed themselves. They were jumping off cliffs.
They were hot to stab themselves in the belly.
Japan was wild, dude.
They do love killing themselves.
Seriously, if anybody in World War II deserved to get hit with the 1-2,
yeah,
Japan may have needed it. All right.
That knocked a lot of the bullshit out of them.
The Nazis definitely needed a good pounding.
Okay.
But Japan needed a hard, like...
Well, that goes back to the numbers of everything.
Here's reality.
That goes back to the numbers of everything.
What about that?
Well, how many people died in Japan? How many people do you think Japan killed of their own citizens?
Of their own citizens?
Yeah, or even China. Combined in China.
China was worse.
China killed what?
In World War II,
50,000 people?
I believe China is number 2 in casualties. A lot of people don't know that. It's Soviet Union number 1 far and away.
What is that, 100,000 or 100 million peeps?
Yeah, you're talking millions. You're not talking... No, in Soviet Union, no one knows. It's like somewhere between 20 and 80 million.
So they got the stats.
Soviet Union has the hardest stats. Easily. They had some of the worst, most catastrophic,
Jesus,
unbelievable deaths. Like, I mean, Stalingrad was a city that was under siege for like 3 years.
Yeah.
To the point where it was cannibalism was rampant. Everybody was freezing to death. There was no food.
Jesus.
That's how they won. They won the war at Stalingrad, like just waiting out the Russians. The Russians just froze to death.
That is sick how people say they're like,
you can't ever.
I love Marx. No, it's just like, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Stalin also like was hesitant to evacuate civilians from cities. So like if he knew the Nazis were close to a city, he wouldn't evacuate the civilians. Because he was like, it'll actually inspire the troops to fight harder if they know they're defending women and children.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, dude, wild. Back to the Japanese.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Those rascals,
dude, believe it or not.
So the bomb. How many people died in the bomb?
Not as many as you think. I think like 80,000.
Okay. At once.
Yeah, in one flash. One quick Polaroid, just everyone's gone.
God, that's like the Goosebumps book, Say Cheese and
That's what at least one person in Japan said. When the flash happened, he just turned and was like, cheese.
Oh my God.
No, dude, that's
damn.
Yeah, that was
again.
That's
fucking hardcore history.
And again.
That's so funny.
But I watched. There's a documentary on HBO on the bombs, and it's like Black Rain, I think.
I saw some of that.
Really good, but really fucked up.
Yeah, I saw people like melting and shit.
Yeah, everybody melted and burned, and it like if you were at the epicenter of the bombs, it was okay. Because it was just you're evaporated.
Yeah, but then, that was Say Cheese and
cheese. Gone, dude. That's nice. That's a good way to go.
Yeah,
it's a flat. You know what's cool? A lot of people don't know this. The bomb goes off about a mile up from the ground.
Really?
The atomic bomb doesn't
hit the ground.
Not a mile. I think a mile might be exaggerating, but no, it doesn't hit the ground. It's timed to detonate above ground. So it's in the air when it goes, and
that's
it flashes
why it has a big mushroom cloud
in the air. I don't know if they're correlated, those two.
That's crazy. We got to get one.
We got to get an atomic bomb.
Some nukes,
yeah, you sound like North Korea right now. That's what he was saying, dude. Kim Jong-un was like, very cool. I need one.
That's how everyone's going to get rid of nukes. I've heard about them now. I'm like, these things sound fucking sick.
It'd be super sweet if I had one.
It is hard to be. We should get rid of all of them. And it's like, all right, you get rid of them first. It's like,
exactly. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Well, as soon as if one person has them, they're in control of the whole world.
Exactly.
So it's like we did all that weird shit. We're like, all right, guys, we can't have these things anymore. Russia, come on, get rid of them. Like, what about you guys? We're like, we'll get rid of them too, but come on.
Yeah, but first, don't even try to make one. And they're like, well, you guys have one, so get rid of yours and we'll stop.
Like, no.
And it was like, we know you're not going to stop, dude. We knew they weren't going to stop.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have stopped. They're dickheads.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, the Japanese got what they had.
God, that's a sick take on that. You never hear anyone say that.
Well, I mean, anybody that's ever studied history,
yeah, of course,
knows that Japan in World War II was equal imperial-wise to Germany. They were just as imperial. Like they were taking everything.
Well, now it's like the history book's one page, and it's like white people did a bunch of bad shit.
Now the history pages. Now it's like maybe we shouldn't have dropped the bomb. Maybe that was too harsh. And it's like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
that was a display of like, all right, we're done. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's kind of like you ever fight. Like it reminds me of like wrestling with my dog. It's like he's biting me, I'm pushing back and forth. But eventually, you have to hit him with the like hold his head down and be like, "That's it, we're done, dude."
You're like, I'm down with you.
Yeah, that's what we did to Japan. We're like, dude, we're done. Stop it.
Dude, it's so funny though that they were like running around there looking like Power Rangers bad guys, swinging swords.
They were.
Well, they were like they ruled Asia.
Yeah,
Japan. Everyone hated Japan.
Well, they raped Nanking.
Jesus, dude.
They raped a city. They had territory-wise, I think the largest empire ever. I think.
That's so weird.
Although the British Empire, pretty good.
So they were going in and just busting out the boners, dude.
Oh,
they put the swords down and busted out the bee stingers, dude.
They went full for boners, and yeah, dude.
They ransacked the city, boner first, and just
boner
came
first.
in.
They were like
crashing through walls like the Kool-Aid man with their dick out. Like,
like Chinese, not a good, very good people. We can very good them.
You just see it through your straw hat, and you're like, oh! Like you're sitting on the floor eating soup and it pops through, and you're like,
what a horrible life.
All you see see is the head, you're like, huh?
What a horrible.
Oh, dude, what was this? The 40s?
Can you imagine getting raped by a bunch of Japanese dudes?
No, I can't. Dude.
Oh man, that sucks.
First of all, their bushes in the 40s are probably like not touched since puberty.
Full sick ass pubes. Some Japanese soldier's pubes, dude. Oh my god.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, dude. No,
and he like walked from Japan to. He walked all the way from Japan. He
hopped on a boat.
Yeah, he rode and then walked, and now he's in your straw hut, and then he
came over there just a few, and then BU. Dude, they did like I'm talking like babies on bayonets. Like they did.
Jesus, man.
They did the worst.
What's the fucking problem?
Well, it was actually similar to the Nazis and Soviets, where it was like these people aren't human.
Yeah, yeah.
So like the government, your emperor, who's a god, is telling you. So basically, Donald Trump, our god emperor.
Yeah, our godhead.
If Donald Trump was like, Matt and Shane, these people aren't human.
Yeah,
we'd be like, sweet, we can kill them.
Can we?
He'd be like, you should. Everybody says you should rim. You should go rim.
Great.
Yeah, but that's what they did. Dude. They got a little wild. And then they got nuked. They got so wild that a nuke was like a reasonable.
I would say raping an entire city.
Yeah,
you get nuked.
You get nuked.
That's the Eastern law of karma at display. Really.
True.
That's the biggest of all, coming down and just being like.
It's a flash in the sky. Next thing you know, you're melted.
You're a skeleton, dude, holding a cup of tea, just like.
So I was watching this documentary, and I was a little more liberal about it at the time. I was at like when you watch the documentary, about the bombing.
You showed me some of it,
dude. It gets a little like I wish we didn't do that.
Yeah,
like I mean, of course, you don't want to do that.
Of course,
you don't want that.
I hope not. Yeah,
but I was watching it, and there's a story in that about a house that was on fire, and this guy's brother was inside burning to death. And he had to hold back his own mother, who was trying to kill herself in the fire with her son, who was like, let me deal with him. And I was sitting there like, I was a little hungover. I was like, holy, so depressing.
Oh, you think you're depressed, yeah.
And then my dad was in the kitchen, and he just walked by and was like, good. And I was like, Dad? I was like, you don't understand, Dad? Like, you're an idiot. And he was exactly right, dude. He was exactly right, dude. That was the most American thing he could have said. He was like, yeah, good.
He probably had some light blue dungarees on, dude. Some white grass-stained sneakers.
It was dungarees that were not, they just straight cut.
God, dude. This, like...
Not even paying attention. How
sick is that?
He just saw a Asian person like, and the fire was a very great. And my dad just good and kept walking. I was like, God damn it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Dude, ask an old man about any. Obviously, what's the old man policy on the Middle East?
That's my dad. Middle East. I remember a long time. He's dead serious.
Parking lot.
We eating dinner. He was just like, they should blow that whole thing up and just start over.
Yeah, that's an old man parking lot debate.
There's people who live there. He's like, yeah, literally.
Maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's like he's like, Matt, it's never going to get fixed. Just blow the whole thing up. They're just causing problems. It's like
they're causing problems.
I was like 10. I was like, I guess we got to blow the Middle East, right? And then like I got to like college, people were talking about it, and I was like, I just thought it was the Middle East. There was just like one type of person.
There's one thing.
There's just some like dudes. They're Middle Easterners, and they're like, no, there's a bunch of countries, different governments. And I was like, I don't know. My dad says we should blow them all up.
This is a hot take I'm about to dish out, and it's going to fuel.
Let's have it.
It's going to fuel our white supremacists. Listen, it shouldn't, because this is just very honest. This is just very honest.
Another hour white supremacists now.
Our white supremacist listeners feel that they love it, but so in no time in history, up until the United States, has there been such a gracious empire like the United States.
That's true.
Dude, if the Romans were dealing with the Middle East, which they did, and they handled it differently because they couldn't. If any other empire throughout history had the capabilities that the United States has right now, that would be a parking lot. Well, the Middle East would be a parking lot. North Korea would be it would be just...
Oh, they would decimate them instantly.
It'd be over immediately.
But that's why, because we stand on Christianity, dude. That's why we don't do that.
We stand on Judeo-Christian values, dude.
True.
That's what our empire was founded upon.
That's why.
Moral compass.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with that.
Treat others as the way you wish to be treated.
That's what cracks me up, though, when I hear atheists be like, religion's bullshit. We should just, like, be nice to each other. It's like, where the f*** did you get that idea from,
where did you get that idea, dude? You were an ape
vibe.
Until Jesus sat on the mount and was like, yo, everybody chill.
Yeah, chill the fuck.
And they were like, nah, and they nailed him to a piece of wood, dude. He was like, everyone be cool. And they were like, fuck you. They fucking killed him.
That does come me up. And they're like,
he got killed.
Well, no. I mean, yeah, maybe. That is kind of funny.
It's funny, he had a message of peace and love, and people were like,
well, all
right, that's enough of this guy.
It wasn't just that. Everyone thinks that. He went around and was telling people about themselves. He was like, you're a piece of greedy. You suck. The Jews are out of control.
I don't know about the Jews are out of control.
He flipped the tables, dude.
He flipped some people's tables. I don't know if he said the Jews. He was the king of the Jews, dude.
He was the king of the Jews.
He was the LeBron James of Jews.
That's funny how that was a sneer at him.
The king of the Jews?
Haha, the king of the Jews, yeah. INRI, that was like a joke. They were like, oh, yeah, here's the king of the Jews.
That was the Romans, because they were occupying the Middle East, and they were like, Jews are gay, but we can't get rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the foresight to know that.
You can't get rid of the Jews, dude.
It was like,
yo, I'm going to go for it. I'm going all in. It was like, it backfired.
That must have been, oh my God, that must have been nuts when he was like, I'm winning. This is not going well. He's like, all right, guys, we got to get ourselves. Let's roll.
Dude, there's a sick-ass movie about that. It's
really?
I think it's called Downfall.
About
you need to watch that.
About hitting like
Hitler's final days in like his bunker in Berlin.
Jesus,
and it's
man.
just like, it's just full on, like, the most morbid fun. Like, all right, well, send in this battalion, and then people are like, that battalion's gone. They got killed. And he's like, all right, send in this division, and they're like, that division's gone. He's like, I just need some time to think. Like, everybody would leave the room, and like,
he just shoots his wife.
He did get married in his final days to old Ava Braun.
Imagine being going down as Hitler's wife.
Especially at the last minute. He married her in the bunker, like before they killed themselves.
She's asking her friend, like, should I do it? And he's like, yeah, they're gonna win. It'd be pretty good. You'll be the king of the world.
You get to hang out with him. It's great. It's like, next thing you know, you're eating a spill. It's like, God damn.
You just wake up in hell, you're like, fuck.
That's such a funny, like, banking on your, like, because girls do that sometimes, and men do that, obviously, but girls do that where it's like, I believe in my man.
Yeah.
I think I believe in his vision. I think he's doing something good here. Like, Eva Braun had to be like, I think Hitler's going to win. I love this guy.
There was some girl jealous of her being like, Hitler looked at me.
He had his dog, dude. He had a dog in the bunker.
What kind of dog do you have?
Guess.
German Shepherd.
Yeah.
All right. You put down a German Shepherd?
Yeah. Put down an old Shep.
It's funny that, like, all right, he gave his wife a cyanide pill, and I'm like, he gave a dog a pill to a fucking asshole.
He gave a cyanide pill to a dog. Norm Macdonald has a great joke on Hitler's dog. Hitler's dog is like,
oh my God.
He's like, dogs are great. He's like, even Hitler's dog had to be like, this guy's the best. Like, Hitler's dog had to be like, I love him. I love him.
Dude, that's too funny.
It's so funny. He's like, dogs love you. Dude. And he's like, Goebbels, I think you're great. I think all the stuff you guys are up to is great. I just love him. Where's he? I got to see him. I love him. Dude, and he's like, hopefully they don't edit this like to where he's not impersonating the dog.
God, but that's funny.
Yeah, but it's called Downfall. Check it out,
that.
Dude. It's real fun.
Just turn it up on his last day.
Such a weird, like, Goebbels is nuts. And it's all these, like, real fucked up dudes. And then obviously there was rational guys. Within their military command, there was still, like, smart, intelligent guys that were like, all right, we lost. We got to figure out how to talk to these guys, talk to the Allies. And then a staunch Nazi would stand up and be like, the Reich will never find Weihnachtsstund. And it's like,
that would get you hyped.
Chill the fan.
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on.
It's like, we lost. Shut the dude.
What happened with those guys, like the normal guys who got like caught up in that, is like they would take you in, they train you, you do stuff, and eventually they're like, all right, like, we're going to capture some Jews, we're going to make them do chores.
Well, they didn't add that. The Jewish thing was late.
I think in order to get people to do that show, they were like, we're just going to make them do chores. And people are like, I'll make Jews do some chores, whatever, it's fine.
I'll make Jews do some chores,
like,
dude.
yeah, you know.
They
did it little by little, then eventually they did it to where they're like, you got to shoot one of these guys. And then, like, they would make these guys, they would be like, you guys can leave if you want. You don't have to do this.
Oh, this is, yeah.
And then they would make them shoot these guys, and then the guys ended up sticking around and doing it just because they didn't want to be the one who left and leave their brother or soldier behind.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
No, they did. They
were actually kind of being, it's fucked up, but nice. Because they didn't want to leave there. They were like, I don't want to put this psychic load on my friend who I'm in the army. Yeah, like I don't want to be the one who bails
You're talking about like
them.
SS officers that were executing civilians.
Yeah, because they did it slowly. They didn't just be like, all right, boys, let's go.
Of course.
That's crazy.
They started out like, this is a righteous war. Mm-hmm. We're doing a good thing. We're liberating Austria. We're liberating Poland and Czechoslovakia. Yeah. And like, we got to get rid of the Jews. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, we're just going to make them run some errands for us.
We're going to make them mulch the yard. They're going to mulch.
Well, they also had like propaganda film that was like these guys at concentration camps that were fake nice concentration camp. Like they filmed like a nice thing. So like the rest of the world kind of saw what they were doing.
Like the Jews are just playing stickball and hanging out.
Yeah. Now, the rest of the world didn't know what they were doing, and a lot of the Germans didn't really know what was going on to a full extent. They knew there was some hard shit going on, but like, I don't know. There were some Germans that were like good generals, like Erwin Rommel, I think is his name. He was in North Africa up with tanks. He was good,
fucking devastating.
And I think he was against. I could be wrong on that.
Probably, there's probably a ton of people.
There's
who
a lot
like
of Tom Cruises and Valkyrie that were like,
there really?
This shit. And they all got killed. They all got killed.
Jesus,
you don't
Christ.
stand up to somebody like that. But
no.
Back to our original topic.
Yeah.
Japan was just as bad.
Yeah,
Japan was equally
rapacious.
It had a complete lack of. What's the word I'm looking for here? They had a lack of regard for human life.
Yeah. And then, like, but you know, they were.
I mean, they would tell their soldiers, "Fight to the death, every one of you, as many as you can," and then
Jesus,
they would do.
They're like super like
they would do like bonsai charges, which is where you just run straight at the troops.
It's terrifying.
Straight at the U.S. from.
That's like it's gotta suck when like crazy. They're running at you and you're kind of like, oh, and they're like, ah, you're like,
bonsai, and they come out of the jungle. You gotta, oh my god,
that's terrifying.
Yeah, that's dude. There's great things. So there's Downfall on Netflix. You should watch.
Yeah.
The Pacific on HBO.
Heard about that.
Is like one of the best. One of the best series I've ever seen. And then there's a documentary on HBO or on YouTube now. It was on the History Channel about Nazi Germany, and like it was all home videos from these people.
I think you started showing me that.
I did show you that, dude. It's real fucked up. Real fucked up about like the way it happened. So kind of
you showed me that.
Kind of like how a country can fall into that crazy bullshit.
That's
like fascism. How you can slip into that.
I love how the people now would be like, "That's so." I mean, it is fucked up, but like they totally would have done that.
Oh,
people like if you say now you're a male feminist, you would definitely been running the concentration camp.
Yeah, you would have been a Nazi.
You'd have been hitting that button and lever been like, yep.
You would have been like, wow, whatever's socially acceptable right now,
exactly,
and socially cool. I should do that. I will do that. Yeah. I'm a male feminist. You're an SS officer.
Just know that if you're a male feminist in another life, you were hitting the button.
Take it easy over there.
You were ringing the bell.
Ring the old fucking J bell, dude.
Apparently, they used to make them work doing pointless shit. So they'd like carry that rock from there to there, and you would just carry a rock all day and drop it, and then carry it back, and you carry the rock back, and then all right, go to bed. It's like Jesus Christ.
Well, they had there were certain camps that were designed just for death camps.
Yeah,
but there were a lot. I mean, they relied heavily on labor.
Yeah, but they would make them do pointless labor too, just for them.
That would probably be a death camp.
Yeah, just to be like carry these rocks, and you would just carry a rock to the one end and drop it, and like back to the other end. You'd be
this is a good World War II podcast we're putting together today.
This is nice.
Yeah, we got to branch out.
I like it, dude. We do. This is good.
This is nice. I'll follow Dave. I love this.
I love throwing in the tiny slivers. I know.
It's good that you do.
I know.
It's good. I like it.
My tiny little slivers.
But it's also, I think it's important for the listener to know history.
It is true though, because it's ridiculous how everyone's like they are doing it now. Where it's basically like you take the evil Jew stereotype and just replace it with a white guy, and it's like
yeah, for sure, and that's something you got to worry about.
And like white guy, and it's like, all right.
And when it comes to like the fascism and stuff that a lot of people on the left are accusing Donald Trump of.
Yeah.
Of like he's or not. I mean that's a cliche,
but it's true though.
They do say that a lot, but also if
they chill with the hip speak, actually,
a lot of the like fascism is is kind of a very far left. I mean, it's ultimate government control.
Yeah.
That's what the left. That's left.
Yeah. That is kind of funny.
Communism, fascism. I mean, it was socialism. Fascism was socialism.
But no, socialism's cool.
Yeah.
Duh.
Bernie Sanders. But yeah, I mean, that's what fascism was. I mean, yeah.
It's fun. It is fun.
I read that the swastika was supposed to be originally, it was a cross that was also a hammer and sickle.
The hammer and sickle. Cool,
the hammer and sickle and the cross.
Dude,
is what the original.
Yeah, but if you want to get put on a college campus, dude, be like, yeah, dude, hammer sickle rules.
Oh, dude, I told you that when I was in Spain and I went to that teachers march in Madrid. So I went to a public teachers march
for like Madrid. Wages or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even understand what they were saying. I was just like, yeah, fuck it, we're all going. I'll go.
Yeah, I'm a teacher.
There's all the teachers. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. And then I was down there and there was literally a red it was Soviet Union flag in the front of the march, and I was like, this isn't a good march. I was like, I was trying to explain to them, but I was speaking Spanish. I was like, do you comprende what that means? That flag?
Jesus, dude.
It's like, you know how many people died under that flag?
That is a weird thing. How if you had like the Nazi t-shirt, if you have a swastika, people like, dude, people like, get the fuck out of here. You can rock hammer.
I would fight a guy wearing a swastika. I'd be like, what the fuck's your problem, dude? I wouldn't fight him, but I'd be like, you're an idiot.
Of course, yeah. You'd be like, what the fuck? You can rock a hammer and sickle, and everyone's like, hey, dude, I like free market type stuff. Like, that's cool, man. Like, yeah, we should all like share. And it's like, you think that's what that is, boy?
Yeah. That's like, a couple of piggies. That's a couple of snowballs and Napoleons, dude. Yeah, did you read Animal Farm?
I didn't read it yet. Someone took it. It was out of the bathroom.
I'm afraid it is.
Where'd it go?
I didn't take it.
All right, I gotta find it. Someone took it out of the bathroom.
I had Animal Farm in our bathroom.
I was reading it while I
read it, and then I watched it. There's the old cartoon on. It's an old BBC. It's an old British cartoon of the Animal Farm's lit.
It is good.
It's a good description of what happens. It's what happens.
Yeah.
It's like a couple people get power. One of them's mean. He runs off Leon Trotsky. He becomes Stalin.
Yep.
Next thing you know. And it's funny too because the sheep in the, like, whenever the guy's trying to make a point, whenever like Stalin, it's a pig named Napoleon. And when he's like making a point, and like some of the other animals are kind of like, wait a second, that's not really what we started with. The sheep always start screaming and overpower everyone. Like the sheep always
kind of funny.
Drown everyone out with their chants.
With their bullshit, yeah.
Of 4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
Saying the humans are bad.
Yeah, that's how it starts. It starts out with like 10 commandments.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you know what? All you need to know, 4 legs good, 2 legs bad.
Yeah.
You guys are good. Everybody else is bad.
They're bad.
Here we go.
Tony, man, dude, I go to all my little health, like Whole Foods and all that stuff because I have all my weird food allergies.
Yeah.
And
you go to your little communist.
You know who else has a lot of food allergies? Jordan Peterson.
Really?
We're pretty much the same person. And yeah, so I go to those stores, and dude, I'm telling you, I noticed after Trump got elected, I get a lot of mean looks from the cashiers. It'll be like, and I'm like, I just come in there, dude. I'm a long hair.
Your hair is long enough that it's
I'm too
clear.
Jacked. That's my problem.
You're too fit.
I'm too jacked.
You're jacked.
I'm poised. I'm poised, dude. I'm looking them in the eye.
You have good posture, and you're looking. You should be cowardly.
I should be sulking in front of them. Like,
you should hunch and be like, "I'm so sorry for my ancestors."
How are you today? That's the other thing too. It's like I like go to check out. I'm like, hey, do you guys have blah blah blah? And they're like, how are you today? And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I don't
get the my face. I can't wait till they replace you with a robot. You're lucky you have this job. Now ring the shop.
Yeah, this is. You know what? We've also been getting a lot of complaints that our podcast is a little too preachy, but suck our dicks.
Yeah. Make a podcast and preach against us.
Yeah, we're going to drop some World War II jokes. Shout out Liza Schlesinger. Just one guy on
every time you say
one guy on the main board. All I need is one person to give us any criticism.
I was like...
And it bounces around in my brain for a week.
Oh, I just am like...
If one person is like, yeah, it's all right, I'm like, what the... Dude.
Nah, you never can please everyone.
Yeah, of course, but I don't know.
Especially one guy. It's like...
One guy hit me with that.
Yeah, because you're like some people, and I was like, I'm like, wait, it's probably his sister. I was like, your sister probably said something. And I'm like,
Katie, she's been very supportive.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's one guy, and there's also people who are like, you know,
a lot of
turn
people.
It off. Get the phone.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we don't need you. We do need you August 11th at Helium Comedy
people
Club.
Fired up.
August 11th, Helium Comedy Club. I'm going to
fight you on stage.
Who are you going to fight?
The guy. Yeah.
I'll tell him to be there.
Preach to you. I got I got two preachers for you, dude.
Yeah, dude. Here come two hot ass preachers.
Give you a sermon on the mount, dude.
We'll give you a sermon. Dude, it all depends what I'm reading. What I'm feeling. If I'm reading, like when I read, if I read Grapes of Wrath, I'm a socialist.
That's sick.
It'll get me.
Dude, I'm telling you, I told you that before. That any movie I watch, I'm that dude. I'm the main character for 3 days. I walk around and I'm that main character. And if I read a book, I read a book about that billionaire, like book Cosmopolis.
Yeah.
In my head all day, I'm riding around like.
Did you read it?
Yeah, it was great.
All right,
I read it, dude. It's fantastic. That's where I got the term. That's where I got the idea of no touch lovers.
What?
A no-touch lover.
What's a no-touch
so
lover?
It's like, say like you're into a girl, but because of like your circumstance, say you're married or you have a girlfriend.
Circumstance.
That's a heavy circumstance. You can never, or like, you're at like a job and it would be fucked up if you guys had, you just go up to them and tell them like, we'll never touch each other, but if we did, here's what I would do to you. You just exchange verbal.
Just sexting.
No, but you do it in person. You're like, we'll never touch each other or kiss or anything, but know this, and you just tell them erotic stuff, and then the idea is for them to go home and masturbate to that.
Yeah, that's strong.
So I read that. No, I read about it in a book. So all day in my head, I'm just like thinking about like I'm thinking like on that level of like if she only knew what I would do to dude. It's so fun. And then luckily I watched like some other movie that like I just started pretending to be in that. So I was like, that billionaire mindset was bad for me for a while.
Damn, dude. Yeah,
no
billionaire
touch lovers
mindset is bad.
No touch lovers is sick.
Anytime I read Charles Bukowski, I'm like, yeah, I should probably just drink all the time. And he has a quote that's like, never wake up before noon. And I was like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. That is funny.
And you fall into being a real piece of shit. And
he's
Bukowski gay. And I'm like, okay, so he's just an alcoholic that was like a womanizer. And it's like,
yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, I saw an interview with him. I'm like, this guy sucks.
Guy does suck.
Like,
yeah, he's like a German immigrant, dude. That's what he was.
He was.
Like,
that was funny when
he sucked, dude.
When he talks in the beginning, he talks about his dad making him like stand up straight so he can fight the Japanese. Dude.
Yeah, I did love it, dude. Him on Rye is like one of my favorite books. That
scene's so funny where he's like, oh, the boy can sit down. He's like, make the boy stand. He has to get strong to fight the Japanese. He's
you
like,
gotta fight the Japs, dude.
And he was like, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna fight the Japanese.
Dude, that's sick.
That's so funny.
That's wild, dude. Can you imagine? We are so gay and fortunate to live when and where that we do.
Yeah.
We get to do a podcast.
Yes, and dude, even like I just watched The Bronx Tale again, which watching it again, it's kind of an annoying movie. But even like there's a scene where they're all like chilling on a stoop and like black people drive by on a bus. Yeah. They're like, what the? And they start like throwing the bus. Like, you used to be able to do that like 30 years ago. People like, and it's fucked.
And not just do that. Not that you used to be able to do that. You used to want to do that.
Totally.
Like if I saw a bus of black people now, I'd be like, all right,
yeah,
that's life.
Then Ludacris is looking back at you. The bus, like, man, it's why I put these big ass windows on this bus.
I would never throw rocks. Traffic? No, I never saw traffic.
Ludacris is riding a bus. And he's like, you know why I throw these big ass windows on this bus is to embarrass us. So you have Luda looking back at you, dude.
Point.
It's like,
it's a good point.
It's a sick point. Yeah, you shouldn't throw rocks at the bus. Don't do that.
In high school football, there was an incident because you know how high school sports are. Every once in a while, you have to play the black team.
Oh yeah,
you have to play the black. You have to drive to the black team.
Everyone's parents are a little more hyped, dude.
Oh, baby, the parents, the away game.
Yeah, man. We had Blessed Catherine Drexel. That was we used to play him in Chester. We played in basketball. It was our all black team, and like the parents were like, "Come on!" both sides. Yeah, and I remember playing, be like, "God, the parents are excited for this game." And like,
yeah, it's a race war. It's a little kid race war,
and it's all for the parents too. The parents are all like, "We feed this." Yeah. I'm in there getting rebounds, doing what I can do.
Imagine if you were a white parent going into a black gym. If your kids are playing basketball, dude, you'd be like, come on, dude, box out.
Yeah.
Run the offense. Dude. Run the offense.
So, I'm not that good at I can play basketball, but I was never that
capable,
good.
But not good.
I'm not that good. When we played that black team, I played the whole entire game.
Lights out.
Because I was
playing hard.
I was elbowing. I was tough. Yeah, they needed a mean streak in there, dude.
The black team we played against always had LaShawn McCoy on their team.
Really?
Yeah, so that was always kind of St. Francis always had LaShawn.
We had a guy who
and that was kind of, what the dude?
We had a guy who went to the NFL, Anthony something. I forget his name. We had one guy, Anthony Haygood, went to something. Maybe he only played for D1 college. Either way, we had a couple people who ended up being really good.
We had LaShawn McCoy, and I think Gilbert Brown. I think he played at Pitt, and then I think in the NBA.
So we had,
LaShawn McCoy.
Did you play them pre-pubescent?
Yeah.
Did they Monstar on you?
They did Monstar.
Dude, so we used to whoop the ass. So we played in 6th grade, and we were like, we go to Chester, and we were mopping the floor with these kids.
Yeah.
They hit 7th and 8th grade. Anthony Haygood had been running with parachutes and fully Monstarred
Once
out
they
on
got
us.
pubes, dude. Once black dudes get pubes, they turn into Superman.
I know.
I mean, it was for Sean McCoy. He was like, oh, yeah, here's the best player in the NFL.
Dude, man, that was crazy coming back to 7th and 8th grade, and I was just like, we're going to VKD up again, and we came in, these guys are huge.
Yeah, they got like shoulder muscles.
Dude, it's just like Green Miles, the center.
You just got white dudes on your
all of us, dude. It's like, yeah, we just had like a bunch of like, I was like kind of fat, and I could box out, and they're like, oh, Matt's good.
He's gritty, dude. He's got hard. Dude, that is, I will say this. Black guys, they're athletic.
Yeah.
White guys get the best compliments.
What do you mean?
The best compliment in the world is not like, you're super athletic. It's like, yeah, dude, that's a hardworking, gritty, dirty play. Dude, anybody that's like a gritty, dirty player, it's like, yeah.
It's true. And
Anybody
then again, though, if you're funking
fundamentals, dude, is sick.
It is sick, but if you funk on someone, your nuts are in their face, it's just like...
of course. But also, Tim Duncan, dude, if you get this
plays fundamentals,
big fundamental...
He does.
If you're tossing around like sky hooks, hitting the top of the glass...
True.
That's sick.
But then Vince Carter hanging his elbow in the rim.
That I mean, dude, I'm Tim Duncan all day.
You don't see John Stockton in the triple threat pose on a poster. Dude,
what's the logo, dude?
I can run, pass, or shoot. That's Jerry West, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Good technique.
It's racist.
Yeah, he's going to get replaced.
Oh, definitely, dude. It's going to be LeBron. They should just replace the NBA logo with the Jordan jump, man.
They should.
That'd be tight. That's going to be Jerry West forever.
Jordan's
Yeah, he's
I'm not a big Jordan guy.
He got his dad killed.
He did get his dad killed from...
He did.
He's with the Ruskies, dude. The Ruskies, for me, Michael Jordan is not the number one. And they his dad.
Did that really happen? Is that a theory?
I don't know if it was the Russians, but yeah. The theory is like... The theory is that a debt cost Michael Jordan's father his life.
Was this when he was making all these shoes?
Yes.
So he's like cutting little Chinese kids' fingers off making shoes.
Yeah.
And then he still didn't pay his debt?
Yeah, there's no way he didn't pay his debt. I can't imagine he rung up that type of debt. But also, if you listen to like their stories, it's like every single night was like $150,000.
Yeah, and there's also people who are, they have bookies and shit, and they gamble, and they figure like, F that guy. I'm Michael Jordan. He's like, the fuck's that guy gonna do to me?
Yeah. Next thing you know, your dad's getting the side of the highway.
God, would you feel bad?
Well, his dad like pulled over to like fix his like a flat tire.
Who do you think put nails in that
exactly,
tire,
dude? And then his dad got murdered on the side of the highway.
Jesus,
it's like there had to be some foul.
That's
play.
how you get someone, though.
This isn't a random.
No, but it's also like if you wanted to get someone like that, that's one way to get them on the highway. You just reach out of a car, pop, 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 pop. That's how they say to someone. You knock on their door and they answer. You just stand outside their house and shoot them in the face and walk away. You never enter their house.
Who's they? Who told you to?
I had a couple people tell me this.
That's how you kill them?
That's a good way to get away with it. Knock on the door, they answer, shoot them when they stand, and walk away. You never enter their house. You don't touch anything in there.
Yeah.
You don't get any DNA evidence.
You got to Wahlberg in The Departed. You got to put on those scrubs on your shoes.
Yeah, latex gloves.
Yeah.
Mask for effect.
Yep. Mask off, dude. Just let them see your face. Be like, just know that that's basically what we did to Japan.
Yeah.
Like, just know that this is the last thing you see. Suck our dicks.
God.
That is, yeah. Also, whenever anybody puts it that way, it's like, there's only one country ever that's used an atomic bomb.
True.
Us.
True.
The best.
If you're listening out there and you have an atomic bomb, don't use it on us.
Don't use it, dude. You can't stop us.
Yeah, dude.
If somebody uses an atomic bomb on us,
it's over. Well, we have stuff to where like we would detect it coming, and then we would blast that out of the sky. Then we already have one going at them.
Hopefully,
that's what I've read that.
That's Star Wars.
No, I heard we have.
No, but that's what it's called.
Oh, that's what it's called.
The space
Star Wars
program.
That's weird too. How like they said we're not allowed to have weapons in outer space, right? That's like an international treaty.
Yeah, but I think
Trump.
I think we're doing that.
Are we?
I think we're working on a space branch of the military.
We're going. I actually would if we just only fought wars in outer space. I'd be way more pro-war.
That would be fucking absurd,
awesome,
dude. Yeah, that would be sick. Also, did you get to see Donald Trump's speech in front of Buzz Aldrin?
Someone showed me.
Yeah, it was Buzz Aldrin. Right?
What was the clip? Yeah, when he's like, "We need NASA. It's just
dude,
great."
He's talking about space, but there's one part where he's like, and we're going to look back, and we're going to think, how did we do it without space? Buzz Aldrin's sitting there making these wacky faces. He's an old man. He's making the faces out of being an old man. He's not reacting to Donald Trump.
Really, you don't think?
He's slightly reacting.
He's
but
being like, the fuck.
I think he likes Donald Trump.
He probably does, but he was probably psyched to be there. Then he heard him talking. And was like,
he was saying some weird shit. Like, we're gonna go to space. We're the best at space. We're now the best at space.
Dude, this is just my prediction coming through. That's true,
dude.
I predicted Donald Trump. It was going to unlock Area 51.
He probably will.
He's starting. He's going to do it. If he went full on from outer space and aliens right now, dude, it would be the funniest thing.
Dude.
It's just the government's been lying to us. They crash into Roswell.
Every once in a while, I'll forget. Like, during my day-to-day, just doing nothing all day, I don't really think about Donald Trump.
Dude, no.
But, like, if I'm sitting here and thinking, like, that's the president, and it's some guy that's just out there, like, 9/11 was a hoax.
He said that?
Yeah, he used to think 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah.
He was a truther.
Dude. Wow.
And he actually became president just to be like, told you.
Yeah, I know.
Which, I mean, obviously, that's sick as fuck. Obviously, for him, yes, dude, that's great.
Called it.
Dude,
that is crazy. It's bizarre. It's definitely bizarre. But, dude, every president we ever had looks that bizarre to me.
They are all wild, but no, Donald Trump's number one. Most crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that I never had a president like, yeah.
Obama and Trump, both crazy.
Yeah.
Clearly Trump's
Obama's
way out there.
Way more diplomatic and all that stuff.
Yes.
But
to be a president, obviously you're nuts.
Yeah.
To be a senator, you're nuts.
Yeah.
To be like, all right, well, this is where I live. I could control this. I could be the guy here.
God, that's weird.
Yeah, you're weird, dude. You have to be dumb to be like, yeah, I could be a comic.
True.
Imagine being like, yeah, I should be a senator.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, a lot of it,
I don't know.
A lot of it's probably
weird.
handed down to like your family's politically powerful, and like, all right, you're going to run, we're going to blah, blah, blah.
For sure.
But every now and again, there's a maverick, dude.
There's a maverick in Central PA, dude.
That was sick. How John McCain was probably getting mad off his maverick status for a while. Remember, they tried to trot him out like he's the maverick, and he like could hardly move his arm. Like,
here comes the maverick. The maverick, dude. The maverick. I can't believe he lost to Obama. There's a good HBO show on that.
The Maverick losing to Obama?
The Maverick hiring Sarah Palin as the vice president. And like them having to prep her. And she's was hot. She was hot.
And those parodies made her even hotter to me.
Yeah, she was very hot. Lisa Ann.
Oh, God. Don't even talk about that.
I met Lisa Ann, dude.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, she was at a show I was at.
Did you get a boner or no?
I did not get a boner, but I will say that like when you see Lisa Ann in person... It's like, dude, that's...
She is hot in person?
That's as a human. Yeah, she's very hot and very, like... I mean, you've seen her.
True.
So
I just wonder when you see her in real life if she's all, like, beat up looking.
No, she's not haggard at all. She's very hot. Very put together.
Lovely
fake. She's very fake looking.
That sucks, yeah.
No, but in person, it's hot.
I'm back on Lisa Ann boat just that quick. God,
this is good cast, right?
This is great. I love it,
good
man.
boys back and forth.
This is a great cast.
Little history lesson talking about Leon.
And we're at an hour, bro. I liked it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I liked it, man. We're at an hour. I'm at 10% battery.
Oh, really?
So we can either wrap it up or
plug this John in, dude.
I've been raw dogging it lately.
You raw dogged it?
I've been raw dogging it. I can get a plug.
You want to call it a cast?
We can just plug it. Let's plug the 11th.
Plug it in.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean just plug the 11th and call it?
Yeah. It's an hour.
That's a good hour.
That's a great hour.
Little history lesson for a lot of the shatheads out there.
You guys can go out in the world and battle these bowl cuts, dude.
Next time someone's like, America is actually pretty shitty, it's like, listen, lady, if any of these other countries had the capabilities that the United States does, the world would be over.
Yeah.
But because the greatest empire the earth has ever seen,
that's fucking
the great
awesome,
masters.
Dude. So what did you ever
here in the city of Philadelphia?
How'd you guys deal with like dragon skin and stuff? Did you ever like cut someone's flesh off and cure them or no?
No, I don't think it was anything like that. It was a lot more nerdier than that. Believe it or not. A lot more lame. So
before we get into that, I would like to, because Dan appreciates stories about my dad.
Yeah,
I do have to put this off because this I literally haven't laughed this hard. I showed you guys already. It's the funniest thing in the world.
You have to post the pic,
and
dude.
I did. It's on my Instagram at Shane M. Gillis. M as in Michael, Saint Michael.
There you go.
But
start going by your full confirmation name too.
Michael Sebastian Gillis.
There you go, martyr saint.
Sebastian, my confirmation name after the great Polish kicker Sebastian Janikowski. That's why I picked it. But we went. My niece was in town, so we took her to play laser tag.
How was she? First of all, at laser tag.
She stunk.
Did you hit her?
My dad was the worst. My dad was easily the worst. Like the high score, one kid got like 29,000, which was absurd. There's no running rule that a lot of people disobeyed. People were sprinting.
Really? Was it full there, or was it?
Yeah, it was packed.
Okay.
God, that's so fun.
It was us and a bunch of black kids, which was really funny to see my dad. I'm like, dude, my dad's gonna get someone in like a hands up, don't shoot situation. He's like, yeah.
Was your dad standing his ground the whole time?
My dad just stayed in the back and stood his ground. He really did stand his ground. He defended the fort. He stayed back and defended the fort. He was like, not my neighborhood.
That's so funny.
But so right when we go in to do the rules, now we're under black lights and everyone, we're in like a semicircle around the guy. He's a teenager going over the rules. And my sister, I just hear my sister say, she was like, Jesus Christ, Dad. And pointed at his crotch. And under the black light, my dad's jeans, it was fluorescent. Like it was lighting up the room. How much, I don't know what it is. It can't be cum.
I mean, it can't. You can't
Nobody
totally
comes
rule
in their
that
jeans.
out. You can't totally rule that out.
Nobody comes directly into
He
their
might have
jeans.
been just like out of jeans and came just fountain headed all over his Levi's.
He definitely doesn't wash those, and those jeans are definitely like 25 years old.
It might have been like a wet dream on the couch.
It was, dude.
He could have had a wet dream on the couch.
Maybe he cummed right before we went to tag.
It's so funny. It was like the opening scene of Belly. It was like a bunch of little black kids, and then it was just your dad with jeans.
He was walking through. He was wearing a dress shirt tucked in. He had his hands in his pockets.
Your dad was one of the security guards. The Scotch.
Why are you coming all over yourself? Dude, as soon as my sister pointed it out, my dad was like, Jesus Christ. Dude, this kid was trying to read the explanation of the game, trying to explain. I had no idea what the rules were. I like fell over crying. I haven't laughed that hard. I don't think me and my sister were both crying, sobbing, laughing.
Oh my God.
Did you get a nickname?
Yeah, you get a nickname.
What was Phil's?
Phil's was Big Pun. Yeah, which was hilarious because everybody else, my sister was Katie, I was Shane. And of course, we didn't know it was all black people in there. So they were like, and Big Pun, you're number 26. He walks out with his keys. He's in there chasing little kids around in the laser tag. Come all over himself. I mean, that was... I don't know what it was.
That's
I hope it was detergent. Because,
what was on his jeans?
Yeah. There's no way...
Cum. That's the only thing that comes up in a black light's cum.
It was so much, dude. It was so much cum. That was multiple loads.
He probably let off like a 2-monther on like an afternoon nap on the couch. He was like, woke up, was like, God.
He's probably watching golf.
He's probably
fell asleep. Woke up, just like, oh.
Probably right before he went there, he probably woke up from a nap and like went right to laser tag. It was like, God damn.
All right, Shane. All right.
That must be like a 2-monther.
Knock it off. Then he went to the Elks afterwards and got fucking chased. And then came home and there was UFC on last night. And I broke down my rules bet on UFC because my dad was drunk enough that we bet on UFC last night, which is fun. It's
must be
bet on UFC is like the most fun show world. And
no,
neither of us, you bet on McGregor.
I did it with Beezer too one time.
It's fun. It's fun. When you have money on the fighter,
yeah,
it's great. But I broke down the rules to him. I was like, look, if it's a black guy versus a white guy, you go with the black guy. If it's a white guy versus an Asian, you go with the white guy. Here's the tricky one. Asian versus black. Asian.
Really?
Yeah, they do. They trick them.
Really? So that's why you're going.
So then...
How'd it hold up?
3 for 3. And then with women's fight, it's just whoever's uglier.
Yeah. True.
Guaranteed money every time.
That's actually that's a good...
yeah.
That's a good system.
Went 3 for 3 last night. Black dude pounded a Norwegian. Hot chick broke her arm in the first round. like right away, this hot chick. She was fighting some lesbian from Australia.
Good luck,
with face
dude.
tattoos. I was like, oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
And then the final fight was a Asian versus a white dude.
What
The white dude just housed him.
And you think Asian dudes will beat up black dudes?
Yeah, they'll trick you in UFC.
I can see that.
They rarely get to fight, but when they do, the Asians...
That's true. Oh, I think a lot of the black fighters have a lot of respect, a lot of like Wu-Tang based respect for the Asian fighters.
All right, so that was my weekend. How about you?
What the fuck did I do? I worked all weekend.
No, nice.
Yep, I worked at my parents' house, stripped the wallpaper,
Nice.
and was talking to my man Spade all weekend.
The Spud
It was a
Man.
Matt and Spud Man operation.
Oh, I didn't even get to talk about this. I fought people online all week about the Chappelle thing. Got to argue all week about that.
Yeah.
And I did not do myself justice. Because I would get hit with like a 3-paragraph response to it, and then each one was like, "Yeah, well, I guess I don't get offended, so I wasn't really thinking about that." And
People just burying you.
yeah, and I was just, I don't get offended.
See, I watched the first half of it, and I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious!" Because at the very beginning, if you're watching it, he's just saying like these women who are crying
Yeah.
about Weinstein. Then like you're weak, we're tough. But I heard at the end, that's when he starts letting off.
He starts getting into it a
21
little.
gun salute.
But it's also, I mean, it's what he
didn't hear
does.
it.
And I said it correctly the first podcast. I was like, I listened to it again because I was getting a lot of shit for it, and I didn't say anything wrong. I was just
Yeah.
like, it's weird to hear a guy, because it's not hard to say white guys suck or white people suck on stage. It's weird to me though when you say white people suck and black people are the best. That's when it gets weird. If you shit on both of them, it's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was my week.
Who's the one guy you always says that gives you a hard time?
Oh, on Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen.
Did he
stayed
chime
out of
in?
it. He just chimed in and was like, Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
I think what they should do with all that stuff, like I was like listening to stuff about like reparations and stuff. We have to just figure out who had them, dude.
Who had slaves?
Who had the slaves?
Yeah,
dude.
we
just
did. We
figure
should.
out. Just go down. They should be like an Ancestry.com thing, and it's like Norwegian, English.
Yep.
You also had them. Like,
Yep.
you got. If you have a big like, if you have a big inheritance, and they found out you had them, you got to cough it up.
Cough it up.
That way, it's all out in the open. It's
But
like,
then
bro, I
you
didn't
gotta-
have them.
Then you got to ancestry the black people and find out who were slaves.
That's true. But there's also black people who had them too.
Yeah, well-
Apparently, I found out that
Jay-Z.
there was Jay-Z had slaves.
Yeah, he still does.
Donald Trump has slaves too, dude. And he has slaves.
Donald Trump definitely has slaves.
He had them. He has to give it up. But yeah, they should do that.
Well, that was the thing on Chappelle's show. They did the reparations.
Oh, yeah, they
thing.
did, which
What
was
would happen?
hilarious.
What would happen if?
And that was, yeah, exactly. Chappelle used to. One thing that made Chappelle's show so funny was he would make fun of black people, and white people were like, yeah, exactly. That's funny. But when they did the reparations thing, just
Yeah.
the black people got all this money and just whopped out. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like the stocks of like platinum quadrupled.
Well, dude, it's funny because I think a lot of times if you get a black dude from the suburbs, they double down hard on black power.
Yeah, they do.
Because they're like, they feel all kind of weird because they go to the hood and everyone's like, yeah, you're from the suburbs. Then like there's black dudes in the hood, like old black dudes that love Donald Trump, which is hilarious. They're like, Donald Trump's good. So it's like, it's weird. They're like, yeah, they're gauging all this like popular black response by like super educated dudes.
Yeah, for
Where
sure.
it's like, you know, it's like if you take the average Harvard graduate and it's like, well, I'm gonna represent white people, and it's like, dude, you don't represent white people. You went to
Yeah.
Harvard. There's like, you're like 0.1%.
I watched Obama on Letterman. Did you guys see that?
Was he on recently?
No,
Oh, Letterman's
Letterman
done,
has like
yeah.
a Netflix thing where he's interviewing people. And the first one was with Obama, and I was watching it. I was like, dude, Obama was he's so much better than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much better he. I know you hate that. a
no.
little bit.
He's a very
just-
good. He's eloquent.
He's so much better at that shit. And he's so much more aware of how to act.
Yeah.
Like if Donald Trump was on that would have been a nightmare.
Did you see the whole fallout from the shithole countries thing?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he said the shithole countries. He's like, why do you need people from these shitholes, dude? And he's like, the best is his apology was so funny where he's like, my language is tough for sure, but I didn't say shithole.
Well, yeah, it's an accusation in a meeting.
And
That's what they claim.
And it's like he's racist for that, which I guess you could paint it that way if you want Norwegians instead of Haitians. But
Yeah.
his point was Haiti's a shithole.
Yeah.
And I think
go
everybody here can agree that Haiti is definitely a shithole.
Yeah.
I don't think the people necessarily are.
Sure, you go to that
Shithole-ites.
country. It's I think it's the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere.
Haiti? Probably.
I think Haiti is the poorest.
Yeah, they would have had a lot of money, but the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation
I know.
sucked it right out
Snagged
of them.
them.
Sucked it right out of their black French dicks.
Well, they're going to Canada now. And now, like, because Trudeau's super, like, liberal, everyone come in here. And now Canada's, like, facing the reality of being like, we can't have everyone in here. Yeah, they're now, and it's starting to grow like the same thing as Brexit, where there's, you get those, they can be Canadians, dude, but they fire up those deep white jeans, and they're just like,
dude. They're like, oh, we're so nice.
Well, it's funny how
Come on in here, gang.
they're having to have to be like, oh, sorry, buddy, we can't have all of you guys.
Yeah.
Back to get your head chopped off. Sorry about that, pal. Here you go. We'll ride you out in a horse. They like, ride him out in a horse, and like, well, here's where we leave you. Thank you.
Come back, though. Please come back.
If the prince doesn't cut your head off.
That's how the Muslims got up into Ottawa. Remember that rap group? I'm a Muslim man.
Yeah.
They were up in Ottawa, dude.
True.
A couple of muzzies chilling in Ottawa. That's odd.
Yeah, I'm fired
All those
up.
Sens fans must be like, what in the heck?
Well, I don't know. It's such a weird dynamic because they're like the hardcore French Canadians. Are they like? I feel like they kind of just fire off. They're not really worried about how they look.
Yeah, I think there's two different distinctions. There's like the French, you would say, educated. Then there's the, or so to speak, you have the everyday, hardworking Canadian, like the Midwestern United States.
Yeah.
It's more Republican,
Yeah.
and then you have New York City or LA. I think Canada's a lot like that.
Whoa, so the French are like the cosmopolitans?
Definitely.
Like the more French areas.
Yeah,
French,
never really-
French liberals in Montreal.
I think that's what it's like.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if they were like way more hardcore, just kind of like Muslims,
The French, no.
Canadians. I don't know.
Like blue collar, and then more like
Yeah.
New York City or LA.
I think you go out to like Saskatchewan and then
Sure.
they're like, we got to get rid of these Muslims, eh?
I don't know what the dynamic is. I know there is just a bunch of weird French people. Who
I definitely have no idea what the dynamic is.
I think they're all double agents. I always imagine them as like real sneaky double agents.
All right. So let's get to
Yeah, the real
why
thing.
we brought Dano down here. So, first off, I don't think I ever asked you, why didn't you become a priest?
So it's a great question, and it's probably the question maybe that I get asked the most, or that is the most interesting, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I think I grew up a lot like Shane. We all grew up in the same area, all our friends, and my family. By the way, I consider myself I'd use the term staunch Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
And so for some people, that is maybe politically incorrect, you would say, with certain viewpoints.
Well, to be religious.
Stay on the mic too.
To be religious, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a Roman Catholic, practicing Roman Catholic, and so as a kid growing up, I always I like the church. I love the church, and always appreciated church history and the mass and everything else. And you look at the priest, I think every guy kind of has this to a point, maybe even you both, I don't know, because I know you're both Catholic, but you look at the perfect ideal of a priest is, a man, a self-sacrificing man who gives his life for the church. And there's definitely
like Father Chet.
Right. Yeah, so
You don't have to badmouth anybody.
Sure.
I'll do that.
But it's kind of like a soldier, or even like an athlete. There's that courageous, self-sacrificing aspect to it.
Yeah.
So I grew up, and I always liked the
Odell
priest.
Beckham.
For some reason, the first that came on was Andre Agassi.
Yeah, like a great self-sacrificing athlete like Andre Agassi.
It's funny how a lot of professions, there's like I used to work in the labor union. They're like, we're the real athletes, and I was like, no, we're not at all, dude. Like you just took 3 shots of Ciroc before work, dude. You're not an athlete.
That's like the old thing. Like anybody who claims to be something else. Yeah. Like I remember the kids on the cross country team would wear shirts that were like no timeouts, no fun. It's like, this is a real sport. It's like, no, football's harder.
Yeah, you're basically prey. You're running.
Yeah,
you're
it's like rugby fags.
No, rugby's
Being like,
a real brutal
no
sport.
timeouts. This is a real man sport.
It literally
It's like,
is.
Well, no black guys are playing it, so it's not.
We had black guys playing it. We had a black D1 athlete playing.
Yeah.
Dude, rugby's a way more brutal sport.
You get those suburban black dudes playing for sure.
Nah, this guy was from Wilmington. But go on.
No, sure. So you have an idea. You have an idea of what the priesthood should be. And growing up, I always knew good priests. My aunt is a religious sister here in Philadelphia, in fact.
Philadelphia.
So, we always had priests come over. We knew priests. And so I always thought from a young age, maybe that's something I want to do. And I always kind of kept it to myself because
it's, you don't want to tell me
there's an embarrassment to it, so to speak. Like I remember in high school, I was almost pretty sure, and I didn't tell anybody. Like I would leave football practice on Mondays my senior year and go get, and I'll get into this, but you have to go get psychologically tested. Yeah, they screen you when I started. So it was after the scandal really broke. Okay,
sure.
So how did they screen you?
I'd go meet a psychologist.
Boys,
yeah, they show you like a picture of a hot boy.
And just held your crotch. And you're like, no boner, you're in, dude.
Yeah. I wish it was that simple, and then maybe we'd be better off.
Sure,
if it was that way. So,
how did they screen you though? For real, what did they do?
To be honest with you, I was 18. I can't really remember exactly. I know I went like 6 or 7 times.
Well,
and I was like to Coach Boger. I was like our high school football coach. If you don't mind, I gotta get out early every Monday for the next couple of weeks.
Damn.
And I don't even think I told him what the deal was, but anyway, I'd go and I would talk to you about your family. What do you think about this? Things. They just talks to you, to you like a regular guy. And he was so normal and so good.
Yeah.
Regular guy, and so there was no issue there, thank goodness. But there is and I'll get into that too, like I said. But there is a level of screening that is now done psychologically, which is kind of the way it should be. So I kept it a secret even up till the very end, and then because I was so nervous, I didn't know what I was really getting into. But my priest always said, if you give God years of your life, even when you're in college. I would hear our friends talk about going to play ball, or I'm going to have fun at this college, or get this career. It's like, what am I doing? And he would always say, if you give God years of your life, he won't waste them. Mm-hmm. And I said, sure. And you do get a degree. It's an accredited university, or college, I should say.
Is it free?
It is not.
Oh, wow.
It is not.
Really?
So I'm the youngest of 7 children. So you had to pay for it. So my dad helped out, and so there is that. I'm glad
you said that, because I talk shit.
I didn't just get a degree on.
I remember people
the church's
being like,
dime.
"Yeah, he's probably just going to get a free degree."
Well, when I thought about
$20,000 a year.
I was thinking
at that time.
I was thinking more like, that's a great idea. If that's free, I'd advise everyone to start being a priest. And
West Point's free, and that still sucks.
Yeah,
I think seminary would suck.
I mean, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it might, dude. I don't know. What was
the
it like?
Military academies actually draw their horarium from the seminary. So, for instance, you wake up, you have it's very regimented. It's very regimented, right? It's a system.
Yeah, system, man.
It's true.
So
that makes sense. Speaking his language, talking systems.
I zeroed right in.
So there definitely is that aspect, and it was nice for someone like me. I mean, I didn't give any effort at all in school. I mean, I just goofed around with our buddies. Yeah. I don't think I was a bad kid in any way, but
I mean, how early into it are they like no jerking off? Is that like day one orientation?
I was just asking him that. I went over to his house for dinner.
Really?
Earlier this weekend.
Yeah, how do they patrol that?
So
is this NoFap? Everyone's on NoFap.
Right. And,
so it's like the real world.
And so the church's teaching is everyone's on NoFap. The entire world should be. Right, okay. If that makes sense. So
you might slip up.
So it's like the real world, like 5 guys who don't come live together. What happened?
150 men live in one place.
Yeah, and that's and
my dad was on NoFap. That's what happened.
What?
He was on NoFap. That's why he fought dreams hard.
Right before laser tag, dude.
I can't believe you put Big Pun on
I know.
On a name tag.
He didn't. He would never do that. His handle is the Gov.
The
governor,
so funny,
dude.
Yeah.
And then that and Nick Eddy. Those are his 2 big handles. Nick Eddy played basketball at Notre Dame in like the 70s.
So is that his golden tee avatar?
Dude, all that.
Yeah, so take us through. I am curious about this though. So you just rolled up.
So I went in. I joined. You go in at in August, just like it's a regular academic year.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you go there, and the first thing I even knew this going in, and this gave me the most hesitation. And it's not to make myself seem like I'm special in any way, but there were a lot of guys not like me, not like us, you would say. like Shane and I growing up, and like you, Matt.
Yeah.
You know,
I keep cutting you off, but we've had that conversation a lot where I had the same thing at West Point. Like right when I got there, I was like, oh, I'm not like any of these guys.
What were they like?
Well, they kind of tricked you a little bit because they take you, like for me, when I was getting recruited there, you would go out, like on a visit, you go get fucked up and like get drunk and party, and it's like, sick, yeah, this is awesome. and then you get there and they are all, I mean, they were doing exactly what you're doing. They were fung-ho about it. They were all like, let's fucking
and they're
go.
smart.
Yeah, and they were all smart. They were dorks too.
Right.
A lot of them were dorks.
They're all smart.
They were smart, and they were all in on being at West Point and being in the military. And I was, like, I think I've said this before, but like at boot camp the first day, I was like frowned. And I was talking to the guy next to me while we were standing against this wall, and a drill sergeant heard it and was like, who the f*** is talking? And the guy next to me was like, he is. He f***ed me out right away. And I was like, dude, you are a f***.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah,
dude.
it was, the whole time was rough.
So what was it like at the?
At the seminary?
Yeah.
So it's tougher to explain in this sense, but you go in and so there's 150 guys, just about. I would say there's a handful of guys that remind me of anyone I've ever known growing up.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of guys are very bright too. Everyone there is very smart most of the time. I would say there's a lot of guys maybe who are like softer, quieter, and kind of nerdy, I'd say. You have that going in. So you have a lot of guys are not like you, and that already is like making me nervous.
You're saying a lot of like soft, wormy looking dudes.
Yeah, a lot of guys that
A lot of touchers.
Probably didn't have friends at all in high
True.
school. Probably never drank a beer. Probably
correct.
virgins.
That's the best way to explain it. Yeah.
No
so,
faps.
So, for instance, I remember guys would come up to me and
Incels,
say,
dude.
we'd be in class, and then afterward, you leave, and some guy would come up and be like, something, I just want to let you know that what you said in class really offended me. And it was like, I have no idea.
In preschool, they're busting this out on you?
Yeah, guys are real sensitive in a lot of ways. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like some guys. I remember being like masculinity. Oftentimes, is an issue. I think it's an issue in the church today, as well as it is our country. I could argue. So anyway, so you can get into it. But
So you were making the seminary great again.
I wouldn't say that at all. I would say there's a lot of guys in there to be very masculine. Oftentimes, made you different from some guys that they wouldn't even want to look at you or approach you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like going to an open mic.
I mean, there you go. It's a lot of like. Yeah.
In all seriousness, how many of these dudes you think were gay who were in the seminary?
I don't know for sure, but I would say. You
might have been giving them the butterflies, dude.
No, that's the thing. They hate you.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So I would say guys, and especially guys I've met outside the seminary too, I would say people who tend to be have homosexual orientation.
Yeah.
Don't like they don't like you. I guess there is an attraction with some, but I would say the way you are is not. I don't know if it's challenging them in any way, but I think it is a distaste for them. They shy away from it.
Do you think it's like incels when they see hot women? Or just kind of like...
I don't think anybody knows what incels are.
Yeah, you didn't watch the thing. Involuntary celibates, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys didn't do your homework, that's
I
your
watched it
fucking
too.
Oh, you watched
After
it? Nice.
Shane and I talked about it, I watched it.
So you had basically... So these guys were hating on you because you were just ramping up the masculinity.
And it's a very small percentage, I would say. But at the same time, like, not everyone's going to like you. You're around together all the time. You don't leave. Mm-hmm. And people may not like my personality to begin with. I mean, not everyone's going to
What were you talking about that would, like, get these dudes so...
I can't remember that exact instance, but it was definitely, like... So you go to college. So I have a college degree, okay? And so the major's philosophy. So you take so many credits. You take science, math, all those things. So it's a bachelor's of philosophy is what I have. Bachelor's of arts in philosophy.
Yeah,
is the degree I actually have. Okay. But then as time goes on, major seminary. So that's 4 years. That's college. And then major seminary is theology, where it's more focused on church, everything with the church and how things go. Okay. the last couple years are more practical, you would say, where you prepare to be a priest physically.
Yeah.
Now, the whole time, mind you, it's all about how to. You learn about everything about the church. I mean, you learn what a priest is like, how to live like, what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
And that's where, from day one, you come in. Oh, so you got checked out by the psychologist. You get background clear. The first thing you do is you get background checked, right?
What's a no-go for a priest? Like, what kind of stuff? If you get, like, underage drinking, that's fine?
That's the thing.
You probably had underage, right?
Yeah. So, so I was,
okay, that's fine.
So the big problem with me was, I remember I got one in my freshman year of high school, and then during football my senior year, so it was during the process. So I was like, I went to my priest. I was like, Father, look, and they said, well, look, it's all taken into consideration.
Yeah.
It's a citation. I mean, you don't get arrested or anything. But I disclosed it thinking, I had to disclose that certainly. But you get a background check. A psychologist checks you out, and so you go in, and then you have to take these. Because it was after the scandal broke, you would say, in the church. So the church is trying to correct that. And I would say maybe not the best ways, in my opinion, but I would say they are making efforts. So we'd have to go to these courses, like child abuse. And it was they're the worst.
Like, these dudes just don't know they're molesting kids. Like,
I watch a video, and it's like generic, too. It's meant for, like, anybody. Like, you're going to coach sports. Everyone in the diocese has to take those. So if you interact with children in any way, like I coached Pee Wee football for my hometown, a Catholic school, and you have to do the same kind of thing. Well, this one was more in depth, so we'd have to go to these Saturday 3-hour video. Oh, it was terrible. You'd get a guy on there who was, it's not funny, but he's like, looks like an alcoholic, unshaven, like, who was a truck driver, who was like a mall Santa. At like a skating rink. Like, it's like all the stereotypical. And he's like unshaven. And it's this guy talking about how he abused 500 kids over the course of his life. And
he was like, a truck driver?
Yeah, and it's like, is this what I am? Like, he looked like a drunk Steve Bannon. He like the Santa outfit. It was
sloppier
like,
Steve?
Yeah, it was like
a bad Santa, dude.
Yeah, so you're sitting there and it makes you feel guilty almost.
For what?
Well, you have to sit through these child abuse courses. It's like, is this what I am? I'm just like a regular guy trying to figure it out, and yet I'm confronted with this. So, and it's not to blame anybody, but at the same,
I see what you're saying. It'd be like a police officer having to watch
police
brutality every day, and it's like, wait, I'm not doing that.
Sure, and then you go out, and some people, know you're in Philadelphia. They have a tough time. They've had a tough time with the church and sexual abuse, and so
What do you mean by a tough time?
The archdiocese has had a lot. Many priests accused and convicted.
How many do you think were guilty?
I don't know any of the numbers.
Oh, okay.
But I know morale is very low in Philadelphia.
Morale is low.
Philadelphia's tough. Boston, Philly.
You remind me of when I tried to become a realtor and the real estate market bottomed out. Literally, that's what happened. I was being a realtor, and I was like, market bottomed out. But if I joined a job and then it's like, a lot of these guys are molesters, I'd be like, fuck. Yeah. So I would be worried about that. I'd be like, man, they better not think I'm a molester.
So the whole thing, though, is, the church saying, okay, well, we got to comply legally. We want to fix this. We're showing everything we can.
Yeah.
And so the state says, okay, we'll do these things. Like a program's going to.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, if you're a celibate man, and this is my opinion, and I think this is accurate. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not having sexual relations with a woman or deprived of that in any way, automatically you don't get attracted to kids. I mean, okay. If you're a married man, you're meant to be faithful to your spouse. Okay. And there's times in a marriage where you don't have, maybe for years, perhaps, let's say your wife's pregnant, you're older, all these different things, right?
I did it.
Right? What do you do? Oh, that kid's looking good. That's not how it is. You know what I mean? I think the bottom line is there's a core issue with that person, and they are not right. Mm-hmm. I mean, to be sexually attracted to a child is not normal.
Yeah, so you're saying it's not a result of the celibacy vow?
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all. I think it's the guys that are in.
Isn't Francis trying to get priests to get married?
So the celibacy in the church is what's known as a discipline. Okay, and the Catholic Church is made up of many rites or traditions.
Yeah.
Roman Catholic being the biggest and Just one of them, though. There's Ambrosian, Coptic, like he's Orthodox.
How many times do you get caught having sex with a priest before they're like, dude, get out?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I
will say this. I'm sorry to totally
go ahead.
But I've seen a lot of priests, and it doesn't seem like it's that hard of a discipline for them to be celibate.
And that's the other thing.
So I think a lot of those ugly boys.
So
you still want to come though.
I don't think they're beating off chicks with a stick.
Right.
I don't know.
Now I will say, there are. I mean, I've heard many stories from priests about women stalking them or coming after them, and they look.
It's because they're on the mic, dude.
Right,
exactly.
and they're untouchable. You would say.
Yeah.
So let's say a woman who's having marital issues, whose husband's a bad guy.
Dude, you're getting
comes
me hard.
in.
You're literally getting me hard.
I'm
Stop.
hard as fuck.
Go ahead, please.
Comes in, and then you counsel her and you show her
your dick.
Compassion or compassion and and sincerity.
Yep.
And then she doesn't get that at home. Well, there's an emotional attraction.
Yep.
So you have to distinguish those things. So sometimes when there's an attraction, it's not love, it's an attraction. You know? So priests have to deal with that, certainly, and that's why you have to have a strong prayer life and and you need to have definitely boundaries, especially more than ever. Like the other thing was the other part of those courses you had to go through. Half of it was don't get accused of this, and here's how not to. Don't have a kid in a closed door by yourself. Yeah. No, seriously. Don't have a window in your door if you have to close a door. Things like that.
Yeah.
Don't ever be alone with a youth and an adult, because all it takes is someone to accuse you. You don't have to be. I mean, the two things I've heard recently of a priest, and obviously I won't say them, and it's not a public thing and shouldn't be, but there was a well-known priest whom everyone loved, who's an older man. He was in his 60s, 70s, and, was in the sacristy before Mass and told, like, a 17-year-old kid he had a nice haircut, and the kid told his parents, and the parents accused this priest of
trying to start it up,
being inappropriate, and it went all the way. I think legal action was taken and was thrown out. But regardless, it's like, I mean, what do you do at this point? And there was another story about a guy who was a seminarian and was a teenage girl at a fax machine, said that she felt he was being inappropriate with her. And it's like there were like 10 people around. I don't know. He's just talking, and this guy is the harmless kid. He's a kid, and there was a girl that he's probably just talking to her. He's at a parish. She doesn't know anybody.
He told her she had a nice haircut, dude.
Yeah, right. I mean,
you ever put your tin in the copier?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
So there's that. I mean, the whole thing is you got to have witnesses, things like that, and that is a big part of it.
Well, that happened. I was at the state. I was working for the state when the Sandusky thing happened. And all the laws that came out after that of like if you're going to teach or coach or anything like that, it was the same thing. It was like you're not allowed to be in the room one-on-one. Which is it sucks, but it's kind of necessary.
No, it makes perfect sense. And like even now, like don't, for you guys, for me, for anybody, you have to follow those same guidelines. Just with the priest, it's heightened scrutiny. Now, I
deserved heightened.
Exactly. And
that happened to me recently. I was during Christmas, I went to my girlfriend's family in Chicago, and I was at her cousin's house, and her little cousin's like 7. He's like, "You want to play Wii with me?" He's like, "It's in my room," and I was like, "I'm like, yeah, you should ask your parents, bro." I was like, "I'm not just gonna go in there." So they're like, "Yeah, go play with them." Then he was like, "Let's play Michael Jackson." There's like Michael Jackson experience. I was like,
my god,
let's play Wii Sports, bro. I'm not playing the Michael Jackson experience with you right now.
Oh my god,
it's terrible.
It was funny when I was in Spain when I was leaving. One of the students came up, and it was a little girl.
Yeah,
she's probably in like 3rd grade. She was like, "I'm gonna miss you. Here's my email."
Yeah. And
I was like, "Oh, perfect." I didn't even think about it.
Oh.
And then another teacher was like, "What the f*** are you doing with that?" And I was like, dude, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Get this shit from me, dude.
Out of here, dude.
And that's the other thing. I know priests experience this, and even I did to a point, but, there's some people who love priests, and for good reason. And, their kids come up and give you a hug.
Some of the best head.
And they're waist high. And so the bottom line is don't initiate a hug. If someone reciprocates, or if someone does that, you reciprocate. There's all these like weird guidelines.
So
the bottom line is
side hug.
Always line up your nipples when you hug.
No, you can side hug those little kids.
So the bottom line is a lot of it's common sense and a lot of it's not being a creep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it boils down. And that's the whole issue here is what it boils down to. So I just want to be on the record too, and this is for anyone who may be in questioning anything about the church, but it's like the priests who abused young people, there's no excuse for it in any way. In fact, it's a million times worse than any other profession, you would say. A teacher, a coach, which there are many of those too, mind you. But when a priest does it, it's that much worse because the level of trust and what he stands for and who he is.
Yeah.
If you believe who the priest is according to the church, I mean, it's the worst thing you can do. One of the worst things you can do.
Yeah, probably.
This earth. And now I could say maybe what I think part of the reason is, and this is kind of a hot button issue with the church, and it's not politically correct to say even within the church, let alone society, but there are
hot kids.
Many. There's many. There's many. The majority of abuse cases happen with males who were adolescent. So the majority of them were with post-pubescent boys. Okay, so it borders on the line of homosexuality.
It's not pedophilia.
Correct.
It's
whatever that term is. There's a technical term.
Oh, so they're saying they're abusing like 17-year-old boys?
Well, yeah, like
so
the whole thing is
there's grass on the field and they're playing ball.
Right, and even if and let's say the kid's like, let's say there was like a 5-year-old kid. The fact that you are touching a child, there is a homosexual action in that because he is a male. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
I mean, granted, you're in the left field. You're in like another world of crazy.
But yeah,
you're saying that it was gayness. But
most of the cases, from what I understand, which isn't talked about,
was the gays.
Most were boys that had gone through puberty.
So if the kid is jacked. There was a case of jacked kids.
Yeah, like going camp, like these weird priests who's a weirdo, taking teenage boys camping. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like that's insane.
That's still a tough qualifier to be like. Well, some of the boys were 16. It's like
yeah. And also, it's you're right. It's not.
But it's different. It's a different thing.
It's not PC because the church, you guys don't have the best relationship with the homosexuals.
No, and
it looks like you're kind of like, it's not us, it's the gays within our ranks.
Exactly, and
the evil gays continue.
Sure, and here's my thing with that, and I understand how that could be.
But
perceived.
you're right. I hear what you're saying because the kids, it's not pedophilia if the kid's not. If he's past puberty, by what
it's called
that
something
is.
else. Yeah, I forget what it is.
It's called being. Hey, dude, don't bring that shit.
You're 16. It's still statutory rape.
Of course,
it's gay statutory rape.
Legally, it's but
yeah.
So it's a tough thing.
No, dude.
And like, are there homosexual priests with the orientation? Definitely.
I'm pretty sure like every.
I'd say like 40%.
Yeah.
Well, there's an old joke. This is kind of off color, but it's like, well, if the church got rid of all gay priests, who would say mass?
True.
Like there was I remember hearing
and then beating the whoever said that to you, dude. You're like, I'm not gay. Dude.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, and then you go to the seminary, and there's guys that give off all the typical homosexual characteristics.
Like what?
Right.
Like they love show tunes.
they go to Broadway shows. They're just.
So you were the young pope, dude.
They're extremely effeminate, and effeminacy according to our standards is a lack of character. Woo! So you could say that.
Damn, Catholic Church is nutty.
I mean, I don't know. The way I think about it always is, and I always thought about it, and I still do. There's a lot of similarities between being a father and a priest, and there's not. That's part of the reason why we call a priest father. But a father of a family can't be this soft guy, that's maybe has more selfish tendency. You need to be selfless, sacrificing. And so those characters come down. I mean, you think about who are the most self-sacrificing people. It's not to say that homosexual people with that attraction can't be that, but you know what I mean? There's a certain like lay your life on the line type of deal. Like a father of a family has to...
Like Harvey Milk.
Oh my gosh!
He laid it all on the line.
Well,
So how are they going to get all the gay people out of the church?
Out of the church? I mean, we don't get gay people out of the church. I mean, what you say? What I would say is, let me go back to when I was entering the seminary. So there's church documents that say these things too. Not all the things
Don't
I'm
be gay.
saying.
Psalms 14:5.
Psalm 69, dude.
There's a document after the scandal, Pope John Paul, and I think he caught a lot of heat for this. He would say, those with deeply rooted homosexual tendencies should not be admitted into the seminary. Okay, so the Latin term is gravitas they use on the document. That means deeply rooted tendency. So
nice.
So let's say you had, if you had you thought
on?
you were gay at one time, and I don't know, it's not it's like a phase.
Are they asking these questions in the interview? Or are they like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do they try to sugarcoat that at all? Are they less blatant?
I can't remember.
Because if I was gay at one point, and then I was trying to become a priest, and they're like, "You ever think about
sucking dicks,
dongs?" I'd be like, "What?
No way, dude."
Ew.
I mean, like I said, it's
I only love pussies.
I mean, it's an awkward thing because you can't be like, you're around people, you're like, pretty sure these guys are gay, but yeah.
The other thing that comes into play is, the church is all about authority. So Christ and the apostles, and they had authority, and so and they were, the tradition is they were celibate themselves, and that's where the tradition comes from. Christ was celibate, the apostles were, and so forth. Okay, now the church gives that to their priests, where other rites do not. So the Coptic Christians can marry. Now there's a distinction to be made. Bishops always have to be celibate because it's you more closely resemble Christ.
So the higher up you are, the less you can come.
Right. So there's no comment.
Yeah,
I mean, if you put it that way, we call it gravitas. But if you want to be a dick about it, yeah.
That's awesome.
So I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But the bottom line is, I lost my train of thought.
That's all right.
You're saying the higher up you go, the more is expected, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the priest is meant to resemble Christ, and so Christ was a celibate man. Now, the priest has intimacy, you would say. So he has relationships. People call him father. I mean, that's an intimate term, you would say.
Yeah.
Mother, sister, brother, father. And so by not having to be an intimate relationship with a woman, he's instead able to be a part of every relationship. So that's a practical aspect. And theologically too. I mean, there's many reasons why the church supports that.
Well, they'll quit too. If you have a kid, you're like, well, I'm just going to get a job.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, oh, my kid's sick, or do you say Matt? It's like, it's kind of, because the priesthood's
conflict of interest.
The priesthood's a vocation, not a job.
Yeah.
So it's a state of life. So there's married life. And
you're a shepherd of, and one of the sheep can't be your kid,
correct?
Or you'd only care about that sheep.
So even in the East, there's in the other churches, they do draw a line where you're not as much. They acknowledge that it's not celibacy is favored. Let's put it that way. It's more favorable to be celibate.
In Catholicism,
in any sacramental, so the Orthodox, Catholic, any of the rites that
what
entail.
about Protestants?
So Protestants is a whole different deal.
You hate Protestants, don't you? You can't say hate.
I think they're in error. Okay, I think they're wrong. I think they're wrong I think they're wrong on the grounds, and there's historical and traditional. And
how long were you in the seminary for?
I was in a total of 6 years.
How many times did you come?
Oh,
that's a tough.
Six?
Every year, yeah. On St. Valentine's Day.
So the idea is that no one should be doing it.
Patron
sexuality is so special and so good that it's meant for something. It's meant to share a relationship with the intimacy with a spouse.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
And there are practical aspects to that too, right? Like you're more focused. You're not this.
Yep.
It can lead to
nicer to your girlfriend.
It can lead to some deviance, you would say, if it gets becomes a problem.
Having it all in.
No, not doing that.
Yeah,
you can
having it build up. It leads to deviance.
That can lead to deviance too.
Okay, see, I'm talking about like if someone is habitually masturbating and looking at pornography, you get into some weird stuff.
No doubt, no doubt, bro.
All this Catholic dogma, it's lining up perfect with all of Matt's theories.
Matt, maybe you should be a priest.
I would as a priest. I can't be a man of the cloth. Though.
You'd have to fix everything, you'd be good. I think it's for you.
It's true.
Here's a question, because I was just thinking of Matt being a priest. Now, you're allowed to drink a little bit as a priest, right? Being hammered is wrong.
So for the priest, he's a public person,
Yeah.
but the same rules apply, so to speak. The church teaches. I mean, first of all, the
Jesus drank.
Christ drank. Christ is known for
Sipping
either
on some
teaching
wine.
people or going to parties. That's all he did. Okay, you
Yeah.
could say in the scriptures, and it's explicitly he made water into wine, right? At a
Kind
wedding.
of sounds like it, actually. Anybody that I know that's like, hey, this is how you should live, and then all he does is go to parties,
Party
I'd be like,
time.
all right, string his ass up.
Well, I mean, the parties were, teaching in and
Yeah, I
of
got you.
themselves.
I'm not-
But yeah,
I wasn't going to
Hookers,
Sure.
dude. It might
he
have been.
was. He had some hookers. He was like, yeah, we need more wine.
We need
Let's
more
turn
bread.
the fuck
people
up.
accused him of that, though. He was a drunkard and a womanizer.
Is that what the Romans and the Jews said?
Yeah. There was a lot of accusations.
here's one.
that he hung
You-
out with prostitutes and drunks.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Right?
you're,
And
if you're,
gam-
if you're,
and-
fuck-
and
if you're in the
tax
barber shop,
collectors?
dude, you're more likely to get a
if I
haircut.
did that, people would not like it, but Jesus did it.
It was,
If I was
chill, it
just
was chill back then.
Chilling with drunkards and hookers all day.
Yeah, so I'm
That would
saying,
be frowned upon.
if you're in the barber shop, dude, you're going to get a haircut.
This is
man.
lining up to your dogma again, though.
What?
Hookers.
This isn't my
chill
my
with some
Veritas.
hookers?
It's not my Veritas, dude. Or my
Gravitas.
My Gravitas. No,
My dad launched a Gravitas into those dungarees. But so you disagree strongly with the Protestants, but you're cool with the Jews. You think the Jews are all right, right?
I mean, here's the thing. I would say there's two different ways to look at it. I mean, Protestants are Christian in error. Okay.
Yeah.
Jews have not accepted Christ as the Messiah. So that's how you do it. Now, what I like about Judaism, though, I mean, the church is started from Christ was a Jew. The apostles were Jews.
Yeah.
Okay. All of them. And so a lot of our things are Jewish. So we have the Jewish scriptures. We have everything the Jews did, basically. What Pope Benedict always said, I always like this. He said, when you see a Jewish person, you can see physically the promise of God to the world. When you physically,
What's that mean?
it's a manifestation because they're the chosen people. So it's the promise. So their heritage all the way back,
but they're usually hunchbacked and have claws. So I don't know.
Yeah, I know that there was a lot of Jewish people near the seminary, strict
Oh, you were in
Orthodox
Ardmore,
Jews.
yeah.
Yeah, and
they used to spit through the fence at you guys.
they didn't like us. They didn't like us.
It was like Space Invaders.
It
You
was
guys
tough.
had old Jews crashing into the fence of the seminary.
The seminary was kind of wild. You had like a wealthy neighborhood. You had Orthodox Jews. You had West Philly.
Yeah.
And then you had college kids in the seminary. It was like
Yeah.
a complete mix all at one spot.
like a sitcom.
It was wild.
That is pretty nuts.
The only difference is we didn't really get out much. So.
Yeah, and then there's just a mansion of dudes holding in cum. It's just a gated off. It's like, oh.
Like, what was hard for me was you'd be around guys maybe that aren't like you, and then and it's tough. You're trying to figure everything out, and I love the seminary. I did, and I have a lot of still good friends, both who are priests and who are not priests. But then you'd leave, and we'd go home on Thanksgiving break, and I'd go to a party, and
you'd show your ass.
And like I'd be like, "This is fun," and people would treat me the same. Gillis is gonna treat me the same way.
Nothing changed.
And
I would give you
sure, but whatever. That's the other thing. I can't tell you how many times people called me a pedophile or whatever.
Yeah, that would sting, man. I'd
like
hate
how
that.
many times I could
hate
say that, and you just say,
No, I'm not.
But I do that to
you
Penn
You
State
say,
fans.
nah, you are. I know I am, but I know what I am, but you
Yeah.
are, whatever the thing is.
I know I am, but whatever you are.
What do you think? I mean, I predict the Catholic Church is going to go into a period of remission for like 500 years.
we definitely are. You could argue on the decline in many ways. So now the church has been in rough shape throughout its history
exactly.
in many different areas. I mean, every historical time brings its own challenges, you would say. It's looked pretty bad before. And it's looked pretty bad. I think there's a Protestant author, I forget, in England, and they hate the church, always have. And there's an adage, the funeral pyre for the church has always been ready, and the whole world's been circled, and everyone's ready to go many, many times, but somehow the match doesn't get lit. It never, for some reason, the church has always seemed like it's backed into a corner. It somehow always makes it out.
Sure.
Yeah.
But there definitely is a more unique time, and people are. And it's almost a good thing in a certain sense because
that
kind of straighten things out a little bit, maybe.
Sure, that Sam Harris Shapiro podcast I was telling you about, because they were talking about Judeo-Christian and like free will and all this. Something Sam Harris was talking about, and it's kind of interesting, is like modern, like religion was always able to geographically stay in regions because they didn't really talk to the outside world. So they're like, yeah, we're Hindu, we're right.
Right.
Yeah, we're Catholic, we're right. We're Muslim. Hello. And they're going to kill you and be like, no, you're Muslim. But now that we've got the internet and globalization and all that, like, I mean, travel, everybody, like, now you're starting to be like, wait, are these guys right?
Sure.
It's like, what about, like, religion's kind of.
Now, what I like about Christianity and, was able to spread to all different cultures. See, what the difference is with Christianity, I think I could say Judaism, I know for a fact Islam, is it's a political, it's a societal and political laws, in addition to being a religion, right? So Sharia law is the law for Islam, for the religion itself. Christianity doesn't have that. I mean, Christianity has been able to exist in any culture and arguably government, right? You can live in a socialist, even communist, it can survive technically, capitalist, and all these different.
Well, what's the give unto Caesar?
Right.
What is his?
Yeah, the Pharisees came to Christ and they said they're going to trick him, right?
Yeah.
And
the Jews.
Yeah.
The Pharisee Jews.
Was this when he flipped the tables?
That's Matt's favorite story in the Bible.
I think it was a day or two before. They gave him a coin, and they said, what do you think of this? And it was either he says
what do you think of this coin?
Yeah. So it had Caesar's image on it, and it said, so if the idea was, if he said no, this is not good.
Yeah, then speak out against the Romans.
Then you speak out against the Romans. If you say it does, then you are not for the Jews. So they thought they had him, and he just said, "Look, whose image is on that? That's Caesar's. Well, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and to God what is God." So the idea is that you can.
Then he grabbed a beer bong and fucking wine.
He's like, get these Jews the fuck.
He's like, dude, I can't believe I just thought of that like that. That was crazy.
I keep doing that. I got a bad feeling about this, though. I keep out of my ass.
Yeah, then he was.
I always thought he got like bullied.
3 days later. I think that was like the one of the last straws.
I always thought he just got like bullied by like Peter and another one of those guys. Like, yo, go tell that guy you're the son of God. And he's like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Either that or you got to do another butt chug. And he's like, all right, sick.
Fucking just took his hair behind his ears. Like, all right, man, whatever.
So the idea is that you can. It's just to pay your taxes, right?
And you can be Christian and you can respect the state.
Correct, absolutely.
Whereas Islam can't
exist in a democratic society.
Saying that you can't have a government other than Islam. Right?
Technically speaking, yeah. So that's their belief system, and there is a law system entwined with Islamic culture. I mean, so that's why you go to Saudi Arabia and there's no booze, right? Because that's what Islam says. Well, that's their laws, right? Where now Catholic Christianity has certainly influenced laws, and we would say for the better. For instance, the church started university, so learning, you would say. So every college basically comes from the church.
Where? In America, or
the university system as we know it comes from the church, from the Middle Ages. Wow. You would say, the big thing was like consent, and when you find someone guilty of something. So, is it a crime of passion? Things like that really came about in the Middle Ages, where to figure out who has culpability when doing an action. So it's kind of interesting in a lot of ways.
So you're saying the world's legal system comes from
the Western culture is extremely is from what we would say. Some people coin the term. I think it's nice. Athens and Jerusalem. So
that's what they're talking about.
Reason influenced by faith.
Yeah.
So don't keep people. Why? Well, you can see on a natural level it's bad, and then if you take another aspect, there's faith involved. So that person has rights from God. Well, it makes it even that much worse. You know what I mean? So on that level, it makes things. That's where we have our Western laws. So like liberty and those different things. I mean, I don't know. It's a very Western thing.
When was the Magna Carta? Wasn't that
1215?
Okay, and that was before they the Protestant Reformation was in like
Protestant Reformation started in
16th
1517.
Yeah.
Martin Luther, Halloween, October 31st. That's when he started to publicly. Now there were guys before him, and there were always heresies in the church.
Yeah.
But they were caught on like this.
The Judeo-Christian, the Jerusalem, Athens way of thinking laid the ground for British law. What's the word for that? English common law or whatever?
Yeah, right. Where it released, it influenced that. You could say
like
some
human
people,
rights.
Some people say negatively, some say.
Probably the Protestants.
I don't know enough about it, but it took power away from the king, is the idea.
Yeah, and then he was like, I'm the Pope.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so you could say the Western world, as we know it. And what I like about, if you look at Europe, you can bash, white supremacists, and you should. Okay, you should bash them. So like that guy Dairy Queen you're telling me about, he probably hates us. But I will say this: there's a neat document where it describes Pope Gregory in the sixth century, and they had slaves. Someone had a slave. They weren't Christian. Come from England.
Someone had them.
Someone was. He found out they were slaves. They were trying to save these child slaves in England, and it was Protestant. They were before they were Christianized. So,
yeah.
And he said these people look like angels. We got to help them out. We got to send missionaries.
Oh, that's
there.
not good.
So the idea was he's not white. Is the point? Like he was in Italy, and so the idea is that Europe composed of. It wasn't just white people. Maybe as we know it now, they're all white.
Italians aren't white.
You look at Spanish, Italians, Greeks. That was the church. That was the church. They were Jewish people, Italians. They're very
what
Mediterranean.
In the story?
I don't understand.
Pope Gregory saved slaves.
So they were.
He's like, he looks like an angel. Bring him to my room.
See these angels, very nice angels.
The big thing, like Saint Nicholas, like his story. Some people that. Let me back up. There were instances where people had like child slavery, and most of that's sexual stuff, right? And so the legend goes Saint Nicholas would go at night and leave coins in the window, and it fell into the stockings, so the guy could give to these people instead of they would take his daughters into sexual slavery. That's a story.
Holy shit! That's
a story of Santa Claus.
That's why we put that's why we get Starburst in our stockings. so our parents sisters don't get fucking sold into
that's where the tradition comes from.
Whoa.
So he was a protector of youth because he stopped people from So he was the bishop of that diocese.
He was. But how did it turn into candy?
Over the years, you give a gift,
sweeten the deal.
You give a gift,
Well, if you're a guy who's willing to sell his kid for slaves to slavery, and someone gives you a sweet treat, you're like, let me suck on this.
Wait, where was St. Nicholas getting all these coins from, dude?
He's the bishop, so he has control.
Oh, so he's using the coffers in the church
right. for the charity, for the poor.
Little girls.
And the thing is, the great story about St. Nicholas in 325, Council of Nicaea, they had a big council. Hey, who's right on this? Is Christ God? Is Jesus God? Is not? And it was after the Roman Empire legalized Christianity. And so there were bishops who were like tortured and mutilated. Guys, there's accounts of guys having no eyes, and he punched Arius is the big heresy. He punched him he got fired up in the meeting, punched him in the face, fought him, just got all upset, got fired up, and went at the guy. But anyway, the bottom line is
Saint Nick. I had no idea.
Saint Nick's wild. So the bottom line is the church to start off. It wasn't Britain and Ireland and Sweden and Norway and northern Germany for the first 600 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was very Mediterranean, very not white, let's say. African. Ethiopia has some of the ancient Christians. Iraq.
Yeah.
Aren't those the oldest churches?
They're the oldest churches.
Dug into the plateaus and shit?
Yes. So think about it, Egypt. They're the oldest. They're older Christians. Technically speaking, Ireland came along a little bit after,
So you're saying the earliest Christians were basically from the Middle East?
Correct.
Very
much so. So
Jesus.
So that's the issue now in Iraq is, it's not politically correct to say it, but Christians are. They're getting the raw deal in Iraq and with the Islamic State.
You can say that.
A lot of people don't like that. And
even Christians are getting a raw deal.
We should help them out over Muslims. You would say they're getting
there you go.
That doesn't sound very Christian.
In taking in refugees, so they make up a certain population.
Well, that's why Trump said.
So you take in a little more Christian.
Those banned countries, if you're a religious minority, which is basically just like if you're a Christian,
exactly,
because they were all Muslim countries.
Exactly.
then you're allowed in.
Yeah.
So that's the big, and I know from the statistics are, I think in Iraq now, I don't know about, I'm not exactly sure. I think they make up like maybe 10% of the population. But yet, if you're a refugee, we only take in less than 1% of Christians, right? So does that make sense? So there's something to be said for that. We're the most ancient Christians on earth.
All right. So from a Catholic Church standpoint, we should be helping them out.
Correct. Absolutely.
But from a humanitarian aspect, we should be helping anybody we can.
It's been coined by our country as a genocide. A Christian genocide is going on today. And that was when Obama was in office. So
that Muslim
and yet nothing's done. So
there are. I mean, there's
relief efforts. I know the Knights of Columbus gives money, and there's whole bishops there where they're like, "Hey, look, we're dying. We're not going to be around. And we've been here since day one." Okay?
Yeah, my Coptic Christian brother-in-law is Egyptian, and every day I'm friends with him and a bunch of his buddies on Facebook, and like every day they're posting a different bombing of Christians, and like even I think I could be wrong on this, but that mosque that got attacked like 2 or 3 months ago, it was like the biggest.
Yeah, they put a bomb in the church
in the mosque. It was a mosque.
Oh, okay. It was
Muslims on Muslims.
Oh, that's right.
But I believe, and I could be wrong here, it was because the church that got bombed was helping Coptic Christians.
They're over there playing Bomberman, dude.
Yeah, they are.
They kicked the bomb into the mosque. And it was like, doop, doop.
Those bombings are fucking
brutal. Horrible.
It's just people just sitting on carpets and somebody runs in and is like,
sure,
I disagree with what you're doing.
See, and that's the thing. I guess the most violence is Muslims versus Muslims. You would say. And now, so yeah, it's a tough thing.
What about the Jews versus the Palestinians?
Oh, that's Team Jew all the way.
Well, I'm saying, but didn't the Palestinians get dogged by the Jews? So now you have the Palestinians dogging the Jews and the Palestinians dogging the Christians. It's like, squad up, dude.
Well, the Jews.
I'm not squatting. I don't give a. It's pretty dog eat dog. Yeah.
And I just looked it up, and it's like the argument for a Palestinian state is kind of flimsy. So it's like they never really had a country ever. To begin with.
But did they live there? That's like the Zuckerberg Hawaii thing. Yeah. Zuckerberg's like, well, you guys had land, but it's not on paper, and he took their land. It's like...
Yeah, it was the Ottoman Empire until it was dissolved, and the British had the territory.
You know what I mean?
I see why they're pissed.
Yeah. Sure.
And I see
my
why
thing
the
is
Jews
if you're
live there.
Yeah, but I get it. But if you're Catholic and you're living somewhere, it's like, dude, you're in the war zone, bro.
Right.
It's like, it's dog eat dog over
and
there.
Jews have it bad too, I would say.
I think it sucks to live there.
Like I think in France,
pretty fairly, it sucks to live over there.
In France, I think there's less and less Jews. The Jews are leaving that country in hordes. They say. Yeah,
Jews aren't really liked well in Europe before the Muslims came in there,
and they don't. They're not a. That's not a religious sect that wants to grow, right? Judaism.
Yeah, you don't have Jewish missionaries.
Yeah, it's Christianity. It's a race.
Yeah.
So you could say it's a race. It's a unique Jewish.
It's hard to
Jewish
become
people
Jewish.
It's interesting. It's a race of people as well as a religion.
It's hard to become Jewish, and to become Muslim, all you have to do is say.
Just go on YouTube,
you just have to say something.
Go on YouTube, pledge allegiance.
And here's the thing: I often my big thing was, and this is Protestants hate this, I think, but I compare Muslims to Protestant Christians. I think there's tons of similarities between the two.
How?
Between the religious structure.
How the people are, I would say. So you would say in evangelical Protestantism, all you have to say is, I accept the Lord Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior into my heart.
Yeah.
And they say that saves you at that moment.
Yep.
Okay?
And you're instantly a Protestant.
And you're instantly they would say a Christian, a saved Christian.
Do you have to get baptized to
they
become
dunk
Protestant?
You in the water.
For some Protestants, you do. For others, it's just a symbol of what you already did.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So you don't got to get dunked in the water.
For some, it's not a requirement, you would say.
But it's the same thing with Islam, where you just have to say something.
Exactly. So both of them, and this is you guys say hot take. This is
a
bad.
very Catholic
people
bias,
are gonna,
hot take.
So Islam is a book. It's based off of a book. Every word in there is what everything's based off of. So too is Protestant Christianity. They have sola scriptura. They have only the Bible, and that's it. Okay?
Yeah.
And they go off those words and that's it. So it becomes an issue when like, okay, well, how was the world created? Well, God created in 7 days. There were dinosaurs and people.
That's why
you know what I mean? And it's like a crazy thing. When really that book is just it's not a scientific book. It's not meant to be. It never was. It's just there's 2 creation stories in Genesis. Which one's real?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Science wasn't created until a millennium later.
Sure, and it's not meant to tell you. I mean, there can be truths in there, but it's a poem, really. It's what the church would say, a divinely inspired text that just happens to be like it's poetry. You know, God created the first day, light. God, and it crescendos to making people. Anyway, and there's a lot of beauty. I mean, it's very it's deep and rich. But anyway, the point is, so they would say, "Oh no, God did this, and He had to do this because it's written here."
Yeah,
you know, and so too with the Muslims, they say, you know, this book was written, and that's what that is.
So they're like pretty big Bible.
They're Bible thumpers, right? They're Quran. That's it. And if you, so just moving on, you know, you can't drink, right? Both of them are hard-lined, no booze.
Yeah.
Okay. They're very hard-lined on a lot of issues. So it's this or else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think. When it comes to science, too, you have a lot of that. And now some people would say stick up for Islamic countries, and maybe they do have some aspects of science, and certainly throughout the Middle Ages, there were a lot of stuff they did. But on the whole, I would say it's stunted.
With the Middle East,
correct?
Yeah,
and technology and science and different things. I mean, like you have people saying we had a flood because women aren't wearing veils. You know, it's like that's why God did this because of that.
You're
it's
right.
Like, you know
you're right
I mean?
In that, like,
and like people would say God's punishing the United States.
Yeah,
Protestants would say because we have abortions.
Yeah,
and that's why the hurricane came. It's like the same things.
Baptists, the Westboro Baptists,
right? Yeah, they're literally that way.
Yeah.
They would say God hates you if you're gay.
Yeah,
right.
What's the Catholic Church say? Like he's just not chill with it.
God does not hate anybody. In fact, He loves them so much. We would say. I mean, we can get it. It's a whole nother discussion.
What is the official stance? Like it's chill, just
this is politically incorrect. The church would say a homosexual action is intrinsically disordered. Okay, so that action is not what it's meant to do, and it can never be. It can never be that. Whereas, let's say you have sex outside of marriage. It's not the best way to do it, but that action is still what it's meant to do. You're just not doing it in the proper context. Yeah. Right?
So you need to come into a...
That's what it's meant. Our sexuality is meant for that. Now there's a beautiful aspect to that. You know, I remember reading this nice article about pornography and different things, and it talked about how men are so so image oriented. Mm-hmm. Okay, that image gets stamped on your brain, and that's why there's such a high incidence of use of pornography and masturbation in men. That if you think about it like this, and this is what this guy was saying, I kind of think it's nice, but if you only see your wife on your wedding night, if you've never had anybody, if you see your wife naked for the first time and you guys are intimate, like that's what's on your mind, and that's always like your wife.
You're supposed to jerk off to your girlfriend.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the bond,
and I always do.
Same, dude. I can't wait.
You're so.
I get what you're saying. You're not. Your mind's not been bludgeoned by images.
Right,
and you see your naked wife.
And there's
what about tranny porn?
That's bad stuff.
That'll get you, dude. That'll get you. That'll imprint your brain, dude.
I'm telling you, all your theories.
When I heard that, I thought
are good with the church, dude.
How do they fit? How do they fit?
Like your
imprinting
theories.
And stuff.
Yeah. All your theories are like what the church is like. Napping T-porn is T-porn is a depth of like
it's just like bad. That. It's just confusing for people. I mean, if you're, my thing is if your goal is to just be a cat about town, dude, not have a blast with all kinds of crazy. But if you want to have like kids and stuff, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
kids fire T-porn on the computer, and it's just kind of like it's a tough thing to think about.
It even affects any relationship you have, where everything becomes sexualized too. Like it's just
bad. It's just bad. You wake up in the morning and go, I'm going to jerk off and watch porn. There's 30 minutes of your day down the tubes, and then
5.
Well, you got to pick the right vid, dude. You know, you're down there, you're edging a little bit, you're having a good old time. So it's a bad habit. You shouldn't come and like a girl get down her throat at 7 a.m. in the morning before work. That fucks your whole head up, dude.
It does. I agree.
So what the church is teaching, the bottom line is sexuality is
right
so
before you go to bed, it's perfect. Then your dreams are clean. I don't have sexual dreams. I have a nice dream.
Dude, 4 people in this year have killed themselves.
Probably because the Protestants.
Probably Muslims and Protestants got them.
All right. We are going on this, but I don't give a fuck.
I'll just say,
no, you're fine.
When it comes to homosexuality, homosexual attraction is not sinful, right? I mean, people
have how you're made.
Emotions and feelings, and you don't know what some people have phases, like I said, or all these different things, but the action itself is disordered, we would say.
Yes.
And sexuality is so good. One of the highest gifts that we have, it's so special that it has to be used for the proper context.
But squirrels have it also. Right,
we're what Aristotle would call philosophically, we're rational animals.
Yeah,
right. We still eat, sleep, all the,
How about
procreate, all those things.
What's the Catholic Church now? What's their stance on like
hell's real? Hell's
real. There's
hell's
fire.
Real place. Yep.
But you can on the moment before just be like, my bad.
Sure.
I'm out.
Yeah, but you can say my bad. I think it is if you mean in your heart.
If I'm about to go to hell, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
In that sense, God's all knowing and would know if you're just being like, I'm afraid of my consequence, so now I'm sorry.
That's what everyone's doing.
But I think God's
the point to be scared of it and be good.
No, it's a punishment for thinking that way.
To what?
I mean, here, what I always think about on a natural level is,
but forever. He's gonna send you there forever. He's not gonna pop you after like a couple days.
You're there forever. Yes.
Exactly.
So what it is that's
tough.
It's the absence of God is what happens.
Yeah, that's what I was taught.
It's a place where God isn't, even though He technically is there insofar as He allows that to exist. But you would say that's a place where your actions choose that you do not want to be with God. Therefore, there is a place for you. So God respects your freedom in its entirety, that He won't coerce you in any way. So you choose that. That's
all it is. It's godly. You just there. You can still rise in the ranks if you're down there. It's just,
I don't know how it goes down there. It's not good though. It's not a good place. So
this is where I have a big disagreement with the Catholic Church, because I've heard priests say that that's all bullshit,
and that's not right. I mean,
the classic Roman Catholic teaching, that's not right. But isn't the Catholic Church, one of the good things about it, it's supposed to evolve with what we know now?
Sure, and the church always has, you would say.
Yeah.
We've always that's the thing. We're not hardlined by a sentence in Genesis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not.
Like what you just said about homosexuality. I really doubt that 200 years ago, if you asked a priest what he thought of homosexuality, he wouldn't say your thoughts and what how you feel about somebody else. That's not your fault.
You could argue that. I'd say most likely they would be tougher on that. Now, the official stance is you never treat anyone. You always treat people with sensitivity, right? You're not going to be rude to them. Technically, we shouldn't. You're supposed to treat people with homosexual tendencies, with the utmost respect. I guess what you're saying is, completely right. So I'll give you an example. There's a psychological understanding of what says right now that's come about. So we've been able to understand.
So you guys aren't saying suicides go to hell?
Well, no. We would say so. So the church says that's always a grave sin. So you're taking a life which happens to be your own, right?
Yeah. You're throwing away the gift God gave you.
Correct. And you're saying there's no hope for me. I got to get out. Now, I will say, having suicidal thoughts or anything like that. I mean, you look at the saints' lives. I mean, what the saints all have in common is they all suffered horribly, physically, emotionally, any way you can chalk it up. I mean, they all suffered just like Christ. So, I mean, there's writings there where like, I wish I would just, I wish I could die, because suffering is so bad.
They teach people who commit suicide to have no.
So the understanding is
sounds like a yes. Sounds like a long way around a yes.
Technically, no, because you can't, you don't know. You don't know what the person experiences. So, for instance, if you right, is your brain working properly? Are you able to freely choose that?
It's a crime of passion.
You could say, but did you some people choose it to a point, but are they coerced by medications? Maybe they think. I mean, we had a guy who passed away who came back from doing tours in Iraq and Afghanistan and was on 24 different medications. I mean, he wasn't. You're not in control of. You're not thinking right. You know,
Yeah.
so there is an excuse for that, so to speak.
Well, then in that case, every single your brain is the one that's like
true.
Like when dudes jump out the window in the World Trade Center, it's like they go.
That's the thing. Like, are you burdened with suffering so much that you can't choose? I would say not everybody. I would say I would say a lot of people, maybe that is the case, yes.
Yeah.
So the bottom line is the church doesn't, so like you said, came with the times, so to speak. Church will always say that it's a grave sin, okay? Is it mortal? All these things have to be there. It's got to be a serious sin, grave. It's got to be freely chosen.
Yeah.
And you have to know what it is you're doing, too. So all those things have to be there. So, right, in a certain context, yeah, I mean, maybe not, you know?
Do you ever get a sense they're just trying to, like, fill the seats? So, like, they have all these teachings, and then everyone's like, well, that's stupid. And they're like, yeah, no, you're right. So come on in.
No, I think they're.
No.
I'd
say it's a very reasonable.
Probably trying to find the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, where do you find, like,
it's wrong?
So if you're like, all right, the world obviously wasn't created in 7 days, but if you're bad, you go down to and it's like, well, that's the same logic of being like the world's created in 7 days.
I would say in there, what I would imagine they say is not a physical place, hopefully. This is what they say.
I mean, I'm thinking this is just stuff.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, I think the church is just a political money machine. To where, like, it definitely served a huge purpose, no doubt. But now it's kind of like, I don't know. I think it's more focused on just, like, keeping people in and coming. Keeping the money rolling. That's what it's been forever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it's on currency. Because if you don't have, like, they put government figures and God, because if you don't believe in currency, it's, it's null and void. If they put, like, a picture like Archie Bunker on it, people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so, I don't exactly understand the whole statement you made. I'm sorry. I didn't. But I would just say, I mean, the church has always had money, you would say, okay? And a lot less than most people think. The argument is, why doesn't the church just sell all their treasures in the Vatican
and give it to the poor,
right? I mean,
that's what Jesus would do.
Jesus also said, I mean, that's the thing, like at the banquet he was at,
give
right?
you some caveats here.
Okay, I'll give you this.
Just like, then Jesus was like, keep your
There's a thought. So
Art is sick.
The church is also the largest
landowner
and the largest charitable organization in the whole entire world, more so than the Red Cross. We teach more people, have more orphanages, more hospitals, and give more money than anyone else in the world. Okay. That being said, there is a certain aspect of, I mean, what the Vatican has too is they have cultural treasures that are priceless. And it's a museum, basically, and anyone can go and see those, right? You're not restricted. I mean, people go there for tourism because of the beauty. So you could say, to a certain extent, the church has just collected history, and you can go see it, right?
Yes.
So is it in the best interest to sell Leonardo da Vinci's whatever he has, manuscript or whatever, and give that to somebody? I mean, sure, but at the same time, you can have... It's like a custodian of it.
Like, so, if you sell somebody the Sistine Chapel.
Right, like what can happen
you
to
could
it?
sell Donald Trump the Sistine Chapel.
Correct, and what would he do to it?
And block it off and monetize it.
Yeah, or change it.
Or maybe sell...
alter it. Or,
what about just little, like, artifacts and, like, pictures? Not the Sistine Chapel, but, cut loose a couple...
I don't know. I mean, I don't know enough. I should say.
Because they could probably... I don't know. I don't know how much it's worth, but you think you'd be able to sell some of it and take that money and start a trust fund and, like, maybe cure world hunger?
Maybe. I mean...
like, I don't know. If you have trillions, how much money do they have?
I don't know. I mean, it's can you put a price tag on the Sistine Chapel? I mean...
Yeah,
I mean,
not that. That's like a big physical place. What about, like,
I don't know.
Original Da Vinci's?
I mean, the church gives away a lot of cash.
Yeah, that's true.
And more than anyone else in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I will say, I mean, the scripture teaching that always is brought up is Christ is at a dinner and a prostitute comes and is begging him for mercy, right?
Yeah.
He's at dinner and all the people there are like, oh, what's this guy going to do? This is a prostitute, get her out of here. And she starts using, she spent all her money and had this like really nice oil and was crying and put oil on his feet, like it's a humility thing. And they said, and Judas was there and he was like, man, that could have been used to feed the poor. And Christ said, you'll always have the poor. They're always going to
hooker, dude. Don't forget.
Oh my God!
It's like, God, I hate Judas, dude. Shut the fuck up. God, you suck.
He's like, you're wrong again. Like, you're always going to have the poor no matter what.
Yeah.
He's like, so, and the church says, we have certain beauty for everyone to experience. So, like, that's why our churches, things have nice, they're supposed to be artistically beautiful. Like, you walk into a church, like my church, it's traditional, it's, you walk in, it's not a regular office building. It's, the smells are different. Everything's different about it. You walk into a different world. And that requires,
But Matt's got a very Franciscan way of thinking, right?
Yeah, I'm Franciscan.
Francis would have said, sell that, right?
Let's roll.
St. Francis would say, no, don't sell it.
He would have fed the animals, dude. He loves animals. I saw the cartoon.
Would have fed the wolf that terrorizes our village. Do you know that's St. Francis' story? There's a wolf.
He fed it.
Attack a village. St. Francis, he find wolf. He bring wolf back to city. He say, be nice to wolf now. Now he is a saint.
We used to watch the cartoon things of the saints.
Yeah.
I remember St. Francis was a young playboy. Then he got dizzy in the cartoon.
His
he woke
dad
up.
was real rich.
Yeah, he woke up as a merchant.
Wild. Yeah.
St. Francis has cool shit.
He hit his head.
So what would St. Francis say? He would say there's a certain
Most likely,
there's a certain way of living. There's all different ways to follow Christ, and that's why the church is encompassed by all these different things. So you can follow it like St. Francis, where you live poor and beg for food, or you teach in a university, right? All these different ways to do things, or you run a hospital. All these different things. There's nothing wrong with having money. It's not an evil in and of itself.
No.
St. Francis, he himself gave away things, but he understood that the church needs material wealth. The idea is that if you want to do that, you go follow like St. Francis, you can do that, right? St. Francis was not against selling everything off in the church. As a matter of fact, he built up a church and put nice things in it, So, I don't know, there's different schools of thought involved in how to be Catholic, and it's all up to what you want it to be for yourself. And it encompasses the whole thing. It's very diverse in that way. True, it's a lot of diversity.
How about this? Here's something that I've been thinking of. So, what does the Catholic Church say about communism?
Church is adamantly against communism.
Oh, yeah, because it doesn't like religion, usually.
Yeah, well, communism, in addition to that, communism, so what it does is it restricts the human person. The human person is not able to fulfill its potential under communism, it would say. It's God-given nature. So the church does not...
It restricts competition.
It restricts everything about you. Yeah, so the church does not endorse capitalism, but it allows... It is a system where you can be free, right? You need to be able to live, okay? And you have gifts, talents, and achievements and different things, let alone the way they look at the human person as just literally a cog in a wheel. That's what you are.
Yeah.
That's what you're seen as. And not even getting into any of the, corruption, which is in every government, but...
Including the Catholic Church, yeah.
Oh, Catholic Church has a high level of corruption, certainly. And there's that sinful tendency when you are in control of a lot of stuff, to do those things,
I hear you. So, how about this one? I got another question.
Go ahead.
We talked about this a little bit, was because I like Pope Francis a little bit, but we were talking about he's not doing enough to combat the pedophilia within the Catholic Church.
There's a lot of critiques about Pope Francis for how he's seen in the media today is the best thing that's ever happened in the Catholic Church. As a Roman Catholic, I respect the Pope. I pray for him, and the Church would also say the Holy Father. The higher ranked you are, the more you have to be on board. You have to be doing what you're supposed to do, or things might not. You might end up in hell. So there's an old adage, and I'll get back to Pope Francis in a minute. But St. John Chrysostom, in the 5th century, said the road of paved with the skulls of priests, and the bishops are its signposts. So the idea is, they're held a lot more accountable than we are as lay people, he would say. So you got to pray. So that's why we always pray for the Pope. We respect him and want him to do well. Pope Francis gets a critique for being so revolutionary, one would say. Do this. He speaks off the cuff. He does all these things that maybe are less restrictive than what's perceived in the past. But a big critique is, why don't you gut all those guys who allowed all these issues?
Law.
Yeah, cardinal law. They gave him a funeral. It's a big critique, and the argument could be, certainly the church is politics. Certainly, even within the church, arguably might be worse in other places. I don't know, but there's political factions involved in everything, and even that, I think he might be hindered by certain other political parties within the church. I think it's completely wrong, and if you think, I mean, my opinion of a priest who gets in trouble for touching, I think it's the worst thing ever. They should be punished to the full extent of the law, if not worse, right?
Yeah.
It's the worst thing that they could do. One of the worst things. So much so that when I hear about a priest having an affair with a woman, it's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God it wasn't a boy. You know?
You don't ever hear about a priest having above age women. No one even cares.
It doesn't make the news.
It's not a news. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, you want to look at people who are. I mean, society as a whole is there's an issue with underage sexual abuse in our culture today. You would say, the churches is harbored, and those guys could. There was a safe space for them. You would say they could get away with it in different things, and putting under the rug. It's not the best thing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I say my prayers every night that the priests get above age every night. I'm like, please let all the fathers just get a blowjob by
good beach.
Yeah, just please, man. Dude, I'm telling you, that's a recipe for disaster, dude. It's like back when you were in like 1200 and there was only like 150 people or 2,000 people you might have seen your whole life. It's a lot easier not to found, but dude, there's a million people around Philadelphia.
Exactly.
That's a lot of stimulus, dude. And
the church would say, I mean, the big thing is it's not meant for everybody, number one. And that's why you go to seminary and you figure it out. So that was my thing.
Why did you leave?
So you go to seminary.
That was the first question.
So you go to seminary and it's to discern if that's what God wants for you, right? And God, if that is for you, God will give you the grace to be like Christ and be celibate, right? It's not to say it's not easy. In fact, it's harder. I knew a year before I left that God was not asking me to be a priest. I believe, and my confessor, my priest who I went to confession to and talked to, he's a good man. A Jesuit priest said. Over St. Joe's, he would say, give it another year just to be sure. And so I did. It was a good advice he gave me. And now everything worked out quite nicely. And I'm very happy for the seminary and everything. But the bottom line is I just knew. I knew I wasn't going to be... I knew it wasn't for me. In prayer, your practical aspect. It's just for you. And there's motivations for some men to become priests. There's always a motivation of... There's a comfortable lifestyle, right? People, you're provided for. Your necessities are provided for, ideally, so that you can go out and serve. So you can go out and work all the time and be a good priest.
Get that funeral money too.
You get everything.
Funeral cash. I used to be an altar boy, dude. You'd serve an altar boy thing.
Yeah, no.
Serve a funeral, you get like $10.
The biggest
go back
gift,
to fourth grade.
Biggest gift I was ever offered was a woman offered to buy me a brand new BMW. That wasn't even a priest.
Yeah.
Now, granted, when someone asks you, oftentimes there's a reason.
Yeah, she probably felt bad about something she did, or she was trying to touch you.
Or they expect something from you when you're a priest. Like, hey,
like a lot of priests hold power for like construction jobs and stuff, fixing stuff up.
Right, or like my daughter wants to get married in the church, but she has this. Can you have any sway? Some things like that.
Yeah, she had an abortion.
It's to.
Oh man,
she had a divorce.
There's all these different things going on, but anyway,
she's a Jew.
Take this beamer, please.
Have a beamer for me. The Saint Francis is take of the wolf. He feed it.
Yeah, that would be such.
Everybody in village
love
a wolf.
As long as basically, if you're a priest, as long as you don't touch kids, you probably get away with a lot of shit.
It's gotten to the point where I remember my priest always saying he'd be like just don't harm the people of God. Don't harm your flock. And today, that's like a good standard.
Did you guys?
That's unfortunately where we're at.
Did you guys do like mass practice? Did you guys like?
See, I didn't get to that point. So like the last couple of years, you do that.
What about the singing? Did you guys practice the singing?
Oh, you guys probably had to sing.
Guys at Gregorian chant all the time. Yeah. Guys are a lot of guys. See, a lot of guys were musically inclined there.
Not a lot of priests. I've never heard a priest sing where I was like, wow, that guy should be on The Voice.
Yeah, but these are all like weird gay dudes that would definitely in choir their whole lives.
Yeah, but what happens to them as they get older, dude?
We will not jerk off.
What happens as they get older, though? Because every priest I've ever seen is just total monotone.
I don't know. I mean,
there's
a lot of guys who were pretty good at. They're smart in a lot of ways, and yeah. Now there were guys who were really athletic. The guys who were like athletes were like biggest bros on our. They were like there were some good guys.
There's some good bros in there.
There were some good bros.
I don't think kids are hot.
What were they like?
Sick priest.
They're probably good at chasing people down, dude.
Yeah, they probably chase those kids.
Oh gosh,
They start chopping their feet.
that seems like a. I mean, imagine like if you were just up to no good, leave it at whatever it was, and then you had to go stand in front of 200 people and like sing and talk about God. I would break down.
That's the thing.
Even if I was like
You go
jerking
through
off
all
the
this-
weird night before, and they're like, "All right, dude, it's mass time." I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh my
like even
god!"
like public speaking, they do everything different now. I mean, you're really critiqued on a lot of ways,
Yeah.
and it's a lot better than it was even like 15 years ago. Like seminaries are really much better now.
What do they? I mean, as far as like homilies, do they say like make it as long and excruciatingly boring as possible?
I was also told the opposite.
Dude, those
They're
things
bad.
are
That's
brutal.
the thing. Like you got to be in. I don't know.
I don't see a lot of spark. When
I really
I went to
doubt-
church
You
my whole
have-
life,
if-
and I
if
go there
you're
and I'm
in
just
touch,
like,
if
good
you're in
God.
touch, you're not going to talk for half hour.
Yeah,
on
and I
something
feel like a lot
no-
of become pretty social out of touch and are just weird.
We had
Yeah, and it's like here's my time to shine. It's
Yeah,
like here
it's
I'm gonna
so boring.
So,
It's not a secret podcast. I'll tell you that,
the
dude.
fucking shit. Share this podcast with your friends.
the priest who taught us homiletics, he's a good man.
Review us on iTunes.
He was he would say 5 minutes or less.
5 minutes?
Yeah,
Never in my life.
Because think about it, like you're gonna hit one issue. Now that's a way of doing it. That's
Yeah.
one aspect. But he said like hit one thing. You're talking about one topic. Because if you talk for a half hour about
Dude.
all the different things, what are you going to take away from it? You
Nothing.
don't even know, and you're going to zone out. You're not even going to listen, especially if you're boring. So
Yeah, that's been my experience. I've gone to church since I was little and kind of stopped after going to college, and it was just like I would sit through homilies and just be like, "Oh my God!" There was just
Sure.
And I go back now, being older, and it's like, "What the fuck is this guy talking?"
Yeah,
I
I
don't understand
know.
what they're talking about now, but it's like, "Good God, this is boring."
Yeah, it's kind of irrelevant.
yeah.
Because a lot of the guys are out of touch with what the humans are doing.
I would say if you hear a guy our age who gives a homily, it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I've never seen
Yeah.
that. I only see the
I would
elders.
say so.
Yeah, it was.
All the guys I know that now, I mean, I listen to them give homilies, and it's like, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Did any of them ever
So
do
good.
like the black preacher, like, and then Jesus, huh?
There was one
You get
guy, he
kicked out for
was a
that.
weirdo. There was
That's
one guy,
hilarious.
One guy from North Carolina.
And the Lord has sent unto Jesus, huh?
Yeah, but he was also the guy to tell us like he was offended by something.
Dude, that must
He
be
would go to
so
bed at,
funny
like,
when they
7
do priest
p.m.
open mic.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, dude, mask go. He's like, and the Lord has said, like, dude,
And
chill.
don't jerk off. Yeah.
And he said it.
Don't jerk off. Can I get one more?
I don't know why that was the voice I used, but whatever. Yeah, I was excited for you to become a priest because you're a normal. And to the listener, you probably sound like a fool.
I sound like a psycho.
You probably do,
I
'cause-
sound like Dairy Queen.
Yeah, we're talking to
Yeah.
you about Catholicism. So anytime you
Sure.
talk religion with anybody, it's
Sure.
Tough.
an actual religious person, which
Yeah, I
you
mean,
are.
and
You sound like a
One of the big, and if you don't mind, I got to go after this, but one of the big things, the tough things for me for leaving was I'm letting everyone down.
Yeah.
There was that thought, like, people are rooting for you. Even if they may have their
Sure.
preconceived of who I was, and rightfully so. I mean, I don't mind anyone who doesn't think highly of me for many different reasons, but it's like, I was in there for long enough, and I knew I got a glimpse of what it was like to be a good priest, and like you want to strive for that, and you want to be like that. And there were guys who just don't. Not say I would be the best priest because I wasn't meant to be a priest, right? So I can't say that for sure. But at the same time, there's guys who are just like literally there just to go through the motions, just to
Free life.
eat nice dinners.
That would be so annoying, though, dude. So you were one of 7 kids, you said.
Yeah, six.
Dude, I'm 6 kids, too,
Yeah.
dude.
I was the
My
youngest.
mom would fish me if I was a priest. It would be every day, like my aunt.
Yeah.
It would be. My mom would just be.
Did you say my aunt was a nun or some shit?
No. I think.
Like I've
Yeah,
dude.
somewhere down the line.
So what do
I
you?
got some
you had a-
Gillises
You got some. You got some Gillises
yeah.
in the cloth.
Definitely, dude.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got-
What do you think about a system where like the priests and nuns could freely have and just go about their business?
Bad.
Why?
The worst thing.
No, it's not. It's
The
just,
worst thing.
It's pure like they would have like masquerades, so like they didn't know who each other's were, and
Yeah.
they would just do mixers.
They wear the wolf mask for St. Francis.
I mean, you could do that. Let them have, and then just they go back about their business.
It's
They
not-
could have like the
it's
in
bad.
church Tinder, and they could just like match.
Damn,
It's like the last thing you should do.
It's so
Why?
sick. Matt and
That'd be
Shane's Secret
perfect.
Podcast is religious now.
I know it'd be awesome.
No, it's I don't know.
You got to let them do hand stuff.
At the end of the day, I think the church always does things in teaching is always it's always a positive, not a negative. So don't do this just because. There's never a reason for that. There's always there's
they're not just saying don't jerk off for no reason.
Correct. It's not just because it's bad. Well, it's bad for these reasons.
Yeah.
Not only is it bad for you, but it's bad for your spouse, your family, every relationship you have. It's not what you're. I mean, you can go on for days about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck.
So if that makes sense, that's why the rules are the way they are.
Do you think anyone ever really went through it and never came their whole life, the whole time they were a priest?
I know a guy who's just like us. He's the best priest, and I always thought it was amazing. He was like, "Yeah, I dated like one girl, completely normal, tremendous
tits."
I was gonna say football, baseball player. He's the man, and he never did any of that stuff.
He never came.
He was just
he's
a hero.
Isn't that bad for you physically, your prostate?
No, it's actually awesome.
You nut in your sleep, dude.
I've never had a wet dream, dude. That's how much I've jerked off in my life.
I think I had a couple.
You had a couple.
My dad fucking launched one.
So there's no bad physical. Like my torso hurts if I don't come in 4 days.
I mean, you could say that the people who live the longest. Like, you look at nuns.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like 100 when they.
Because they're incubated though. They don't have any stress of life. Doesn't have to do with them not getting.
I don't know. I think a lot of them are around poor people all the time.
Dude, I used to go to the nun house for my grade school, and you sit there and drink cranberry juice, and they rock in rocking chairs, dude. They trust me.
Some.
I don't think the life of a nun is stressful.
I
really,
ran into some
know.
sisters of there was a bunch around Ardmore.
Yeah.
That would always get their car fixed where I'm at.
Okay.
It might
Sisters
be,
like the Jesus cross.
Child Jesus.
Maybe, yeah.
Might be from they run Rosemont.
And they did a lot of their whole thing was just helping poor people, every single day.
Yeah, but some people do
maybe
that.
not that.
That's
Maybe
so
it's
they
not
had a
good.
job, which they probably did, but then there's people job and then family.
Yeah.
And then stress of bills and
you.
money. So their stress is a fraction of, I think.
I mean, there is a certain aspect where their material needs are taken care of, sure. But at the same time, it's like, Mother Teresa, for instance. I mean, her whole thing was to take people in the caste system in India and bathe them and clean them and let them have dignity. You know what I mean? Like,
Also, think about the stress of also believing that there's a
there's people who do that and have families and jobs.
Think
and
about
kids.
the 100%. Like those old ladies in those rocking chairs are like, oh my god,
They're sitting
on the
all
way.
day. They're like, I've been in my rocking chair. I've never flickered.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I just think their stress is minimal.
So back to the coming.
Yeah.
You're saying the bad examples. They don't have stress.
Yeah, nuns and
So
girls
the
can go
cunning-
forever
the
without. I'm
cum
talking
count.
about the dudes. Yeah.
Yeah. So holding in your cum
I don't know. Priests live long lives most of the time.
because of the strength and discipline from holding in your cum.
I would say
Sure, it doesn't
that.
feel
I mean,
good.
I'm all about no fat.
I would
It doesn't
argue.
feel good.
I would argue from a practical standpoint, the lifestyle of a nun and a priest is nicer overall. You're not in risky behavior. You're not doing dumb stuff. You're not.
Yeah, that's
you're not a mess in any way. Like, odds are, you know what I mean. In a normal aspect, you lived a good life. You're not drinking your face off. You're not eating. If you live a normal life, that's what it provides you.
Yeah, I guess. Kind of alienated too, though.
What's the thing? I would say no. I mean, a priest. I mean, here's the confessions of many people. I mean, it's close. You're meant to have friendships and relationships. I mean, that's again. They call you mother and father.
Yeah, they were always. I always saw them out constantly doing. Which I was. I don't know. There was a weird deacon that was around us that I was pretty sure he was pretty gay.
He's not around anymore.
He's not around. He came out. Nice.
Yeah,
you can tell he was
on
gay.
accord. And he
which is
had
cool.
and he had issues with the church, and he couldn't do what he wanted to do, being who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the church? I know we're
That's okay,
way
yeah.
long. What about nature versus nurture when it comes to being gay?
Good question. I think the way it goes is there are certain people who are presuppositions to that. Like you may have whatever genetics you might have. You might have some kind of like you're less inclined to be athletic or whatever whatever way you want to call it. I think nurture. I don't know. Maybe
gay guys have bigger dicks than hetero guys.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's true.
No.
Average, they got an inch on us.
I don't know.
Well, then I must be gay because my dick.
You're running a risk.
I would just say nurture is I would say nurture is a big part of it. I would say, and some people may have a study out there that says, well, it's because of society. But I would say, if you're a homosexual, odds are you're statistically going to have more issues in your life. Other problems going on.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. like your risk for drug abuse, all that stuff is like promiscuity is high, is through the roof. I mean, you could argue all those different things away, but I mean, I would say your life maybe isn't. There's something not there. I don't know if something's going on. Yeah, I don't know if it's going on. And I know even Shane doesn't like this, but I would say maybe you're not. I don't know. I think there's something lacking. I would say
it's a tough life, man.
I would say something's lacking. Life. And again, the church is,
But how about all that suffering they go through?
Very much. So.
That would be perceived in the eyes of God as something beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they stand in the mirror and whip themselves with dildos.
I think there's a group, and this might sound crazy. There's a group of, like, for men who are gay trying to not practice homosexuality.
Yeah,
in the church,
and it's like,
yeah. Unfortunately, not. Boom, 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 boom. It's not.
It does suck to sit here in Catholicism because all the other religions are fucking.
And it's funny because I hate atheists. They fuck me off.
Atheists do,
but it's so fun to make fun of the church.
You want to say the church has done the most for the world? I would argue.
Yeah, I mean the whole. That's one thing that kills me about atheists is when they're like, we could just not have religion and still be good and treat people with respect and love people like your neighbor. It's like, yeah, you got that from religion.
Yeah. Also, the places that don't have religion, the governments, it's called North Korea, Communist Russia.
Yeah.
I mean,
it sucks.
Communist China. The worst places the worst atrocities in human history.
And that's one thing that always bothers me too.
Atheistic cultures are called communists.
I hate when.
What about nature worshippers?
I don't know what to think about that.
I hate when Catholics get lumped in with like the Protestants that are like building those
mega
dinosaur museums and like mega churches
insane.
and abortion clinic bombings and like when they're like Christianity, it's like, dude, all we do is it's our only bad thing.
That's true.
We haven't fucked up in a while. Ever since the Pope was cool with the Holocaust, we've been chilling.
You guys have been good, exactly. Yeah.
Fuck kids, we're cool with the Holocaust. That's it.
I mean, in terms of science, a Belgian priest came up with the Big Bang Theory. I mean, that was a Belgian Jesuit priest.
He fucked up. He probably like finished a math equation and was like, "Whoops!"
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think he was in the 30s.
All science comes up until lately. Has come from the Catholic Church.
Right, and the argument is the church stunted. It wasn't until the Renaissance where learning was flourishing. It's like, yeah, but the Roman Empire ended and barbarians took over. I mean, the church is the one, monastery is the one that like, hey, we got to save civilization. You got to write everything down and keep records. Yeah. Just like starting over.
Kind of like the Muslims in Baghdad, right? Or where was it where they saved all that shit?
Palmyra?
I don't know.
Palmyra, New Jersey?
Palmyra, Pennsylvania. Dude. Palmyra Cougars?
Ooh, yeah, maybe.
Right?
Maybe the Panthers?
Panthers?
Yeah.
Maybe Cougars.
The church is chill. The church is chill.
I mean, you could say, we have Western ideals that comes from the church.
Very true.
Yeah, the church is Western ideals.
So liberty, all those things that we have in this country, ideas, originally comes from the church.
Here's my question. Do you think at some point we'll be able to like know those ideals so well we can be like, all right, we can stop giving like 10% of our money to the church and just like chill out on this whole thing?
I mean, the church's main goal is to save souls, and everything else has been secondary towards that. It's so. For instance, you get a Martin de Porres or a Saint Damien of Molokai. He went and lived with the lepers in Hawaii, and then died of leprosy. He went and lived in a leper colony, and
kind of had that one coming.
I mean, what did he? Yeah, exactly. He knew what the deal was. So I mean, his first goal was to save their souls, and then in addition to help them in any way.
No doubt.
So there's certainly that aspect to it. So that's their number one business, you would say. Everything else is the culture and everything that comes along with it.
My thing is, if the money's rolling in, so in the 1600s, they're like, if you're gay, you go to heaven. Everyone's like, yeah, and they're like, nice. And then like now that they get backlash, you're like, I'm seeing less people sitting in these seats. Are like, nah, it's chill.
Now the church
on back, baby.
I can tell you what.
Give me that 10%.
The church is like the last institution that's never given in. The one that matters, you would say.
Yeah.
Unofficially, we've never given in to any of the modern ideals that are today. So they're not giving in on. And people may say different things. Well, I heard a priest say this. I mean, Pope Francis is very much against gay marriage, abortion. All those things people think he might like. He's hard.
He doesn't like it, but he's not as hard against it.
You could drum up in his past where he was a cardinal and bishop, and he was pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say. I mean, that's the thing. We're not gonna flinch on those matters.
Yeah.
And there may be speculation. There always is. You know, you read a news article from God knows where. I don't know, but it's not going to happen.
So I would say, in response to what you said about like how the church is like, less people are coming, maybe gay marriage, or Pope Francis is like, who am I to judge about gay people? But I think that comes with the church actually evolving. Now you can look at it.
I think
as
it's PR
from
it's
a
PR.
You can look at it from a cynical perspective of like, well, they just need more money, so they're just saying that. They don't believe that.
Right.
But I think the main goal of the church is to probably try to figure out the truth of a good life. And if the people are saying, hey, this is wrong, I think it would be in their best interest, if they're looking for the truth, to listen.
So you have the shadows are dancing across your face. They give you like masquerade of it.
Fuck yeah. Well, you just ruined the fucking thing.
I'm sorry, no, I believe you. I
think that's a very
that's the way I look
very
at
good
it.
point.
That's true.
I don't think the church is. I don't know. I don't look at it.
I've seen their Twitter things where I'm like, this is active PR on like just like any other company.
Well, they definitely do that.
To me, it's all the same. It's all the big money.
Sure, there definitely
Nestle,
is.
the church. To me, it's the same thing.
There definitely is an aspect of selling the church, and or you would say getting on social media is one thing. Like the Pope, get on social media and you can reach these followers. Sure, I mean there's that aspect to it where you could say, he's just trying to get more followers. I mean, technically, yeah. I guess you.
How
could
many
say
followers
that.
does he have? I
think like over 1 million or something.
Nice.
Way more than that.
I'll give you this example. So the Episcopalian Church in America.
I think Aziz has that. Shout out Aziz. What up, bull? I think another disconnect comes from the church's business is saving souls. Well, if you're a person that's like, I don't know how real souls are or what we're saving from.
Yeah.
So then you're like, well, they must know that. They must, because like inherently, I kind of sometimes believe like, the f- guy's talking about heaven and hell.
Right.
Why don't you chill with that? You're clearly just trying to make money. But I guess if you look from a perspective of somebody that really believes heaven and hell, maybe they actually are trying to.
Like,
I don't know, like because I think it's like, wait, you guys are adults.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
So I believe in souls.
like-
I've seen my soul before.
It's like Gillis. It's like look at the
swear to
Jesuit
God.
martyrs in Japan. Like they went there for a reason.
Step on your Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't there some guy behind it all being like, yeah, you guys go over there.
Spread
Good
that.
luck.
We can get 10% of their money. in
Yeah, it's
Japan.
like, yeah, good luck. Go ahead. 'Cause they were involved heavily in trade routes, those Jesuits in Japan. They were intermingling in political and
No,
business things.
that
as
was
well.
the Protestant Dutch that eventually broke in there.
Was it really?
It was the Dutch, the Protestants.
I gotta reread Shogun because I remember the priests were over there causing a ruckus, dude.
I think the priests were like, "Hey, open your ports so we can
Yep.
get some biblies in here.
Biblios.
You guys to learn about biblies. Let's quit fucking worshiping dragons, you idiots." But we didn't get enough biblies in there, and that's how Pearl Harbor happened.
That's true.
And then they ended up finding God in the form of two sun bombs.
Yeah, that's true.
Japan was always very atheistic. In World War II time, it was very much a I don't know. They had those tendencies, I guess. Basically, they didn't have Judeo-Christian ethics. Therefore, they treated people terribly,
Lopping people's heads off.
Yeah. In fact, the Nazis, how they treated prisoners of war was a million times better than how the Japanese were.
The way they treated
That's a hot
Western,
take, dude.
No, it's not. It's not.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah,
The way they treated
They fed you and
Western
clothed you, yeah.
prisoners.
Yeah, like
Definitely
even,
not Eastern prisoners because they
Agreed.
treated those Ruskies.
Well, yeah, and the Russia and Germany,
which
they had-
would make up 80% of their prisoners.
Correct. You would say that. That's fine. That's fair to say.
So-
And they hated each other, and
Yeah.
it's for many different
The
reasons. But-
Judeo-Christian values were not on the Eastern Front.
correct. You could say that. You could say that. So there's an argument to be said for that. Let's say.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, we can talk all day about this
Yes. Yep.
because being Catholic rocks.
True.
Guys, quit coming. Could you do me a kindness? Could you knock off the coming?
That was a great cast, dude. That was fun.
Yeah, I think
I'm
we
just,
got a lot
I'm
of
just
Southern.
afraid I'm not funny. So it's
It doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter,
That
man.
wasn't
Okay.
meant to be that funny.
Yeah, it was
that was
informative,
nice.
man.
That was nice. We got some shitty atheist listeners. We got some. Got a lot of Southerners.
Yep.
Probably all have their dumb Protestant views.
I don't think I've ever even met a Protestant.
Six is Protestant.
What?
Yeah. Anybody that's Christian that's not Catholic is Protestant. So basically, if you ask someone,
I assume everyone's
Right.
Catholic unless
no,
they're Jewish.
nobody's Catholic.
I just am like everyone's Catholic or Jewish.
Dude, a lot
Or
of
Muslim.
road hacks will ask because a lot of them are like fops.
Yeah.
like
Right.
up here in this region, a lot of them are fops from New York and Jersey, and they'll be like, "Where are my Catholics at?" in the comedy.
Wow, they
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
I've heard that before.
Really?
Yeah, because then they do Catholic church jokes and Catholic.
Sure,
but then
sure.
whenever they ask who's Catholic, like maybe a third of the room will clap.
Huh.
Like not many people are Catholic.
I just figured people just were like, I'm not clapping.
No, it's usually because there's a ton of Protestants.
I don't think I knew any Protestants.
Every colony was Protestant. The
Yeah.
forefathers.
What do they do?
There's only been one Catholic president.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's
JFK.
Protestant.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
weird. Never thought
Our
about
whole
that.
country is Protestant. It's like Quakers and till all the flops.
Where do Amish people fall in on this?
They're Protestant.
Yeah,
What?
They're like they're Protestant, but another
They're like OG Protestants.
Protestants. It's an all-encompassing term to say.
For
So the guy like from There
Non-Catholic
Will Be
Christian.
Blood is a Protestant.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how I
very
know.
That
much.
was a
So.
Protestant preacher.
What do they do?
They're just
They follow Christianity a certain way. They
Christian
don't have mass. They don't have
extremists.
Can they come?
sacraments. I
No.
would say no on their end.
No
too.
coming.
Very bad. Yeah.
Every religion's like, yo,
No coming.
could you guys do me a favor?
I wonder why that is.
Could you guys like not come?
Because it's meant for something. I mean, think about it. It's literally meant for something. You could argue.
Shooting on your belly. Yeah,
Yeah, but so is spitting, and
yeah.
not many people are against that. Saliva is used for
What's it used for?
saliva
up
in
your
your
hand.
mouth.
Oh,
Lubing
okay.
up
I'm
your hand.
sorry. I'm thinking. I don't even know what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I would say that has one purpose.
Saliva.
No.
Coming.
One-
Jizz?
Got a couple.
You got a couple things you can do with
Jizz has
jizz.
one purpose. Sperm has
Facials,
one
cream
purpose.
pies.
Yes.
So what about blood? So it just has to somehow enter a woman. So if they suck it out,
No,
it's fine.
it's. I mean, think about it. Think about what sperm actually is. I mean, it's meant to. So therefore, I don't know. It's
No,
pretty.
you're right. You're saying because to make kids.
Sure.
That's it. But I'm saying I like coming, so I'm sick of I'm sick of being told not to jerk off down here.
I've been trying to tell Shane to stop fapping, dude. I'm all about no fap for relationships is great.
It's-
If you're
there you
totally
go.
dependent, if you're,
Well, if you can see that, then yeah, then that,
I'm on board with
then there you
that.
go.
Yeah,
Just
no.
the church should sell those goddamn pictures. Is what I'm saying. They should sell their goddamn pictures, dude.
Oh yeah.
Downplay to some solo. They don't need to be drinking out of gold foulers, dude. You get some solo cups up there.
True.
Sip the wine out of
Pollute
there.
the world with that plastic. I think it's good that they're reusing
Biodegradable.
No.
Golden chalices.
Yeah, it's just one. You think about it. You got one cup. Your whole fight.
True that.
You got one sick golden chalice.
True. But gold, I don't know. That's what the conquistadors
used
told
again.
the
There's
the
reasons for that,
Aztecs.
too.
The
They're like,
Catholic
why do you
Church.
guys need the Aztecs were like, why do you guys need all this gold? And
Like,
they're
don't
like,
worry about it, dude.
we have a disease that only gold can cure in our hearts. That's what they told them.
Yeah, I went
That's
to
what the
the.
priests suffer from.
I was actually in Mexico last week, and I thought I was looking at all these Mayan ruins, thinking about Shane. Thinking
About the Mayans.
Yeah.
Shane the Aztec
Just
ruined
thinking about all
I
Mayans.
would
that.
have showed up and fucked them up.
Oh, you're saying
Yeah.
if Shane showed up on them?
Yeah, right.
No,
Shane's like
what
the
a-
white guy. They saw it. I mean, it'd be unbelievable. They're all short.
Oh, dude,
so
if
short.
I showed up and
The
just
lads.
Shane with a beard. Shane with his mustache.
coming. I'd show up with a metal hat and just be like, "Come here, you idiots! You guys got gold around here? Put one in a headlock. He's like, go get me some gold." Yeah, the Catholic Church historically has done a lot of absolutely horrendous things,
Sure.
but as were the times.
Yeah, everyone's done some bad
I'm,
stuff.
I'm,
could say the
I'm very
people in
pro
it-
Christopher Columbus. I'm very pro every genocide the Catholic Church has helped commit. I think it's cool that the Pope was like, "What are you guys talking about? Hitler and the Holocaust?" I'm gonna look the other way. I'm down with that.
You're an old school.
I'm a hardline Catholic. Dude.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, dude, jerking off is yeah, that is a sick thing to get by. Be like, no matter what we did, I'm down with it. Those kids are fires.
Dude, you should hit the SEM. You got to hit the SEM, see what you're made of.
No, I haven't been to church in like 2 years, 3 years.
I go for
my
Christmas.
wedding.
Yeah,
Did you go for my wedding? Yeah, that's it.
I was at a Coptic mass for my sister.
That counts.
How many priests did you have at your wedding? Did you have like 10 priests on
3,
stage?
4. Well, I go to Latin mass, so it's a little different. But
Yeah. You go to Latin mass?
There are about
Oh, yeah,
4 of
dude,
them.
he's
yeah.
all in.
Dude, you get full De Spirito Sanctos.
Had some of them no fat, no fat.
Cumina.
A lot of it's whispered. You can't even hear it.
You can't
You
even
whisper Latin?
Yeah, it's whispered.
It's meditation, dude.
It's sacred words.
Wait, you go to like old school cover
Yeah.
your head church?
Yeah.
Where do you find that?
Anywhere. There's stuff in Philly.
Don't they do it at St. Patrick's in Harrisburg?
Yeah.
Nice.
So if
Gotta
I,
get Latin.
am I allowed to go to my
St.
like
Lawrence in
mom's
Harrisburg.
church? Can I just go in full like veil?
I mean, men, no.
You say you wanted to dress like a goth, like Marilyn Manson, and just stand in the back of a church.
So funny.
This is so stupid. Yeah, we are running long.
All right, we gotta get out of here.
Thanks, guys.
Dan, thanks for coming.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for
Thank
coming,
you.
bro.
Yeah,
That was
great.
Great.
That
Thank
was
you.
so
Good
fun.
for you,
Thank you.
man. It's nice. It's refreshing to see someone who's religious, not afraid to sound like a kook.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do hate atheists, dude.
That's the thing. I mean, I think
You believe in it.
Yeah, and I think it can help your life.
Yeah.
Matt is a Protestant Muslim.
I'm a Protestant.
Pennies.
I don't even know what Protestants are.
Brian Six is a Protestant, dude.
I had no idea.
Imagine his hellish, sinful life.
Jesus.
Classic Protestant. All
Good
right.
Lord.
Yeah, everybody you know that sucks is a Protestant.
All right, fair enough.
All the gay guys?
You think they're Protestants?
Protestants. All right. We
All
gotta
right,
go.
later. Oh my God, we're back.
All right, we're back. Just a quick recap. That was a lot.
That was a lot, man.
It wasn't as funny as we usually are, but
I thought it was pretty fun.
yeah, it was pretty funny.
That was a cool thing. I always wanted to see what the deal was. I wanted to ask some more personal stuff, but you can only dig. Your shovel can only hit what it hits.
Yeah, well, Dano is like, he's like a hardcore Catholic.
Yeah, he's a good boy. So he doesn't.
He's like a hardcore
He doesn't
Catholic.
hear any of my filth. As I wanted to ask so much
Dano's,
disgusting.
dude, he
sick
loves the
que-
cast.
I know he does, but I wanted to ask some real
was-
sick personal questions.
Well, because he also has a personal life.
Exactly.
Unlike us two losers.
Exactly.
He's
and
not all in on this.
And that's also too where I'm like I'm not a total scab where I'm like I got this sense.
Yeah, I wanted to tell some stories about him when we were young because he was an animal before
Yeah.
he went to the priesthood. So it was like when I heard he was doing that, I was like, "What the fuck? That's crazy." I mean, he was
Dude, you'll never be able to. Honestly, I don't know any other cast that can have that interview. It's like not a lot of people know people who either were priests or
Yeah.
priests. You know what I mean?
we fucked up. We should have asked him more about experiences he had personally with pedophilia, like when he was around it.
He was just saying there's a bunch of.
I've talked.
I
to
liked
him
how he
about it.
dressed up the language. Like, there's guys you can tell, they're just
Yeah.
kind of like soft, the bad at sports.
Yeah. It's like, you mean gay dude's clearly gay? Well, when we were off the mic and I'm talking to him, like I got fucked up at his house on Friday.
Yeah.
Just drinking whiskey and eating steak. It was sick. And we
awesome.
sat there and we're like, gay people. But I do ask him about that, and he's like, yeah, they were fucking gay. You get in there. I mean, you're surrounded by. Imagine going to the seminary and being surrounded by, like, first off, dudes who want to be priests.
Yeah.
That's a weird group.
Yeah.
That's why it was crazy when he got into it.
Well, plus, if you want to establish discipline, dude, it's tough to have. Like, if you have in the hallways, everyone's father, it's like, it's tough. I get
Well,
that. I get that part of the church.
I don't think people were feathered as much in the seminary, but it was just like,
But they could have.
I think they were looking out for
If
it.
they didn't ask those pre-screen questions, like, how much do you love dicks? Like, if it popped into a room, what would you do? And they're like, suck it. And they're like, get out of here.
Slap it away like St. Francis did the wolf.
That is a wild life, dude.
But when you hear him talk about shit, like the St. Nicholas story and like,
Dude.
all the weird shit we do, it's always weird to me to hear him talk about stuff like that, where it's like practices we do every single day
Yeah.
that we don't even know why we're doing it. And it's all because a long time ago, the Catholic Church was like, this is what you do now.
That's the same
And
with
we're all
passing
like,
down
yeah,
names.
sweet.
A lot of them are pagan rituals, too.
Yeah.
Passing down of names, they used to believe that your soul inhabits your name, so you take, like, your dad's name, and then, like, he lives forever.
I mean, and I see where they're saying that. That makes sense.
Totally chill.
Because your name, people keep saying your name and you live on through that. Like, I mean, it all. Anyway.
Saint Nicholas is going to get your
He
sister.
will release your sister from a slave.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. There's a ton of that. It was crazy to hear him join that. He played middle backer for us. He hit like a month.
I fucking bet he dude's a fucking boy. I don't want to tackle me.
He was like mean to people out there, dude. But
He's probably bulldogging dudes in
he
that
was. He
seminar.
wasn't. He's thicker now than he used to be. He used to be just.
Yeah.
The first time I met him, he was in 8th grade, and I was in 9th. And we were lifting for football, and
Yeah.
he would lift with the.
He's built like a
football
power
team.
lifter.
He came in and he had the biggest traps I've ever seen. And I was like, "What, you doing a lot of shrugs?" Like I was like, "Do you ever do shrugs?" He was like, "What?" I was like, "Why don't you stop doing shrugs?" But yeah, it was a good. I like that episode.
Good cast.
I'm sure we're gonna like stick to talking about funny shit.
That was funny.
I gotta stop letting the noise get
Yeah,
to me.
dude. Stop, stop putting that in here.
But
Keep that in your phone.
This weekend, I'll be at Helium Comedy Club with Sam Morrell. That'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got bumped this weekend.
Whoa.
I was supposed to be at Magoobies with Miss Pat.
Ms. Pat, she
Yeah.
bumped you?
And yeah, I got down there on Thursday night. As I walked in for the show, Miss Pat came back into the room, me and the manager, and was like, you know what?
Jesus Christ.
And the owner looked at me like, oh,
Sucks.
yeah,
Okay.
really fuck some money.
Yeah.
But it was a miscommunication. I wasn't mad at it.
That happens
and
all
Miss
the time.
Pat was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
She asked the club owner for my number because I did do a set on Thursday.
Yeah.
And she was like, I need a funny white boy.
There you go.
Bring him on. I was like, all right, sick.
Dude, get
Hit
into
me
Miss
up,
Pat
Miss
world,
Pat.
dude. She got shit.
Miss Pat got shit.
Miss Pat got shit by her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, so I'm at Helium this weekend. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. I should have my calendar out. If I have any sick-ass shows. No. You can't go to that.
Helium this weekend.
Helium again. That's it.
Word up. Shout out to Castbox for boosting up our fucking things, dude.
We'll see if that holds. It has held the last couple of days.
I have no idea how
The numbers are back, dude. We thought we were peasants.
Yep, and Castbox apparently has brought us to the masses.
Around August, our numbers just dropped out from like thousands of listeners to like 200, and it was like, oh shit, we're peasants.
Yep.
And now the numbers are back.
Well,
baby.
they did the hosting service we used
that reported our numbers.
They redid their whole system to report stats, and then it skyrocketed last week.
So we don't even know how many listeners we're reaching.
We're
we
totally
haven't known
confused,
since
dude.
the summer.
Yeah, we have
and now
no idea.
we're back. Now we know we're reaching. The
That's
masses.
what makes this podcast so secret, dude. We have no idea. This could be syndicated for all we know. We don't know,
dude. This podcast is secret because number one, we don't really advertise for it
True
or
that.
like push it on anybody outside of our Facebook.
True that.
We just let the boys spread the word, dude.
Mm-hmm.
We're like Jews.
Yeah, we are.
We're not trying to spread the gospel.
No,
we just know the truth. We
you
have
can't
it.
get in too.
No one's allowed in here. And oh my god, this was hilarious. This lady that just got hired at Helium is an Asian lady, and she's
like is what?
as like important. She's high
Okay.
up. She like runs a department or something. And the manager introduced me to her and was like, "Yeah, so it was a really good podcast." She was like, "Oh, what's the name of the podcast?" I was like, "Nah, don't worry about it." Some fucking Asian lady. Every episode's like, "Oh, be sorry. Oh, I'm a stupid Chinese."
You're all in there. She's gonna kick you in the shin.
So far, like every single person that's asked me what the name of the